Christopher Russo, how you doing,
No,
man?
I love that. It's not a rock show, it's a Fox show. That's so
Dude, this
cool.
is it, man. Charlie
That's it.
Thurman of White Houses. That's
What's
it.
that?
Charlie Thurman from White Houses?
Oh, that's who did it?
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
White Houses, really?
Yeah. That's my buddy,
Those guys are
dude.
great. I saw them live. They're really good.
Yeah, yeah. He actually was the first person on this show ever.
Really?
Yeah. So, cool stuff.
Cool. Nice.
Mhm.
And you just hit him up and said, I need a theme song?
He actually made one. It was really cool, man. He just made one. So he's actually he has some stuff going on, but when he's able to, whenever, he's actually working on a new one to be more accurate to what we do, I guess, which is cool. And then he's also working on a theme song for the Lee and Me podcast. I don't know if you ever caught any of the trailers.
Oh, yeah, the Lee and Me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
That's cool.
That's like a whole bunch of bullshit, but
Mhm.
yeah, no, it's gonna be good. So yeah, man, how are you doing on this rainy Sunday? I didn't realize it was raining.
I know it's ruining our lighting. I would have
Yeah.
had a little better lighting if I had the sunlight coming through. That's what puts the best light in this
It's
room,
actually
but
looking really good, man.
cool.
You know,
But
the
yeah, man,
silhouette
rainy
of
Sunday,
the head.
perfect time to do a Fox show. So
It's a Fox show.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, cool. Thank you so much for doing this. Obviously, you're with cuethepilot. And we're big fans of you guys around here for sure. Very personal reasons, and you know the story, man. But beyond that, just awesome music.
Thank you.
And we had Ty on, and he was just an awesome guest. So, you know, nothing but good things coming from CTP.
Yep. We got more coming to you, so hang tight.
Yeah, and actually, I've been very fortunate at this channel. Almost every guest we have on gives us some kind of exclusive little thing to drop on the people. So we actually have a nice little promo video for your new music video, which we'll get into later, which is fantastic, by the way. I love it. And so where are you abouts on the island?
Where am I? Valley Stream.
Okay, so obviously before the pandy, did you hit a lot of the local music scene around there, like on the South Shore and stuff?
We did. We were playing everywhere. It was kind of nice because it would actually got to the point, you know, when you're starting out and you're doing your thing and you're trying to get into places, it was kind of like you would call every place and you would just, any bar in town, any venue,
you just take it.
You would be calling and you would say, oh, you know, can we play, whatever. And then it got to the point where they were calling us, which was good because you felt like, you know, you felt like a rock star.
Right.
It was like that people were looking for Cue the Pilot. It wasn't like Cue the Pilot had to look for you, you know, so that was very cool. So we were playing a lot of gigs. It was cool because we got into the city a couple times, which was really nice. And then, of course, the lovely COVID-19 decided to pay us a visit and just said, yeah, you're doing music? Well, we don't want you to do that anymore. So
yeah,
bye. But
were you guys, have you guys been busy during this time? Did you take a moment to, I mean, you have a new music video. I don't know if that's pre-pandy or during.
No, that was made during this. It's interesting actually because yeah, we're keeping busy. We're writing our whole second album right now. Pretty much entirely
so exciting
virtually. We're doing it the modern way, sending each other our tracks or whatever. It's just me and Ty now. So you know, I'll do a piano lick. I'll send it to him on his computer. He'll throw in the guitar lick or the vocals or whatever. Send it back, and we're just sending it back and forth that way, which is really cool. It's not it's kind of like, I mean, thankfully we're in this time where we can do that. I couldn't imagine having to, you know, write music in the 60s during a pandemic. We wouldn't be able to do it. It would just be, that would be it.
Or you
no
just
more
meet
album,
up
go
and
work
do it
at
anyway.
Starbucks. I don't know what to tell you. But that's, you know, so we're able to do that and it's great.
Are you the tech guy?
Am I the tech guy? I'm the tech guy in general, but it's actually funny because I'm definitely more so the tech guy in general, but in terms of the program that we use to write music, he's the guy. He's the guy that knows that program in and out, and he really runs the show there.
That's cool.
And I know it pretty well now too, but he was definitely the guy that knew it.
I gotta be honest, I tried to work with someone remotely. I tried 3 different interfaces, you know, like Pro Tools, Reaper, and I can't stand it. I don't want anything to do with it. You know what I mean? Like, I can't. Give me a video. For some reason, I'm just good. I'll edit videos. I'll learn all that stuff easy. For some reason, I just can't. I don't know what it is.
I gotta be honest with you. It's funny because I'm not a Mac fan. I'm not an Apple fan at all. I think all their programs are
garbage.
They can't be worse. They literally can't, except for, in my opinion, GarageBand. I mean, we've had so few so few flukes and issues with GarageBand. Every once in a while, yeah, but for the most part, it's an amazing program, and it's the program that comes with the computer. It's
Yeah.
not like we paid $400 for one of these programs, Logic or whatever. And we've been very happy with it, and we could switch if we wanted to at this point, but we're like, we know this so well that
Yeah,
why would we?
Why?
And it works. It doesn't crash on us, you know, it doesn't do stupid shit.
Cool.
So yeah, we got really lucky, because I can't say that about any Apple program in the world. Other than that,
well,
so.
that's the one thing that people say. iMovie and GarageBand seem to be like really solid, and I use GarageBand.
No, people
a
say
little bit.
iMovie is nice. Ooh, that's interesting. I wouldn't agree.
I don't know. I use Vegas. I don't know. That's
What is that? Vegas?
Vegas Pro, yeah.
I'm assuming it's a PC program.
I'm sure they have it for Mac too, but I don't know. I'm new to this, dude. I've only been doing this a couple months. Here we are.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
You know? But like any good obsessive person, I have really locked it down, I think, and just trying to learn everything possible, you know?
Yeah, I've been watching it, and I think it's doing a great job. And
Thanks,
I'm
man.
not even like I'm not the type of guy that watches these type of shows usually, like the podcasting, things like that. But one of the ones that I do watch, I'm sure you're familiar with it, is the Joe Rogan one.
Oh, of course.
And it keeps me fully entertained, and I watch it all the time. But this one's not. It's not boring. It's not stupid. You don't get. I don't know. I just like this one. So whatever you're doing, keep it up.
Awesome, dude.
I like it a lot. Yeah.
I appreciate that a lot, man. And you know what the cool thing is? If everybody wants to go to our YouTube, you can start watching previous episodes. Yeah, for your convenience. Because if
you got 7 hours to spare, you could go watch Ties.
Right. Well, it's not there, unfortunately. I just started.
Oh, it's not.
You're gonna be one of the first people to have it up there.
Oh, because you just started.
Just started. Yeah. I had to get a really beefy computer to do it all. So
otherwise, it's just skipping out of control and lagging. Right.
It won't work. Yeah, it wasn't. I was using a laptop, a really high-end laptop, but
still, it can't handle it.
Yeah. So I'm very fortunate to. Well. I worked hard for this, so you know, but whatever. Yeah, I'm happy to be able to get it. It's. I just wanted to say, like, I purposely didn't shave a little bit so that people could tell us apart because we're two good-looking bald guys.
Yeah, right. You wouldn't.
So
I
got a little 5 o'clock on the head, you know, but just because I thought maybe it would be confusing for the audience.
I would think it would be. Yeah. No, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
No, I did a fresh just this morning, actually. Yeah.
It's nice, dude. You got a nice shine.
Yeah, man.
People were telling me I need to start getting like makeup because it's too shiny. Sometimes it's too shiny.
Do you use we're literally going to do this. We're going to do the bald guy talk about shaving methods thing right now, but I want to. Do you use the like a straight razor or do you use like an electric?
I use neither. I use like a Dollar Shave Club.
That's what I mean. Yeah, but a disposable.
I pick it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good. All right. Yeah.
If they want to sponsor me,
that's what actually gives you the shine. I've been told. So whether you want to shine or not, if you use an electric, it won't give you that. But if you do like a wet shave with a Bic or whatever, you will.
You can't use. How do you use an electric? Because I feel like it just I'll just constantly have stubbles on my head.
Yeah, it doesn't work, and that's why I do use it. So I'll take the shine because I'm not using a fucking electric. It's not happening.
It's all about the hunt, right? If I can just attract a woman that just wants to rub my head, I'm like leaps ahead, right?
So that's why we do it. Otherwise, we would never do anything with our grooming whatsoever.
Exactly.
No reason. So.
Yeah. You need the shine. Yeah. No, for sure. I look for it.
That's another thing that we're fortunate though. Talk about how you could mix music now where you couldn't in the 60s.
Yeah.
Talk about shaving your head in the 60s. You'd be laughed out of the room. You'd be laughed out of the room. You couldn't do it back then. Now it's a look that's so in that you could get away with it, and then people actually like it. But
now, can I ask you? Do you ever like? Do you see another bald guy you don't know? Like, what is it like? You're like, are you?
Do you say like, "What's up, man"?
Like, but is there like that standoff? It's like,
Is that standoff?
You can only because I feel like, listen, I'm the bald guy, right? So it's like for per capita of people in the group, you can only have so much bald people.
I suppose that's true. Oh, you're saying like not just on the street, like if you're in a group, like where you're actually hanging out with another bald guy.
I went to a COVID safe party the other night, and there was another bald guy there. But I feel like there was enough people to where it was okay.
Okay. Yeah, no. If it's a small knit group and you just got one other bald guy, he just can't be better looking than you. You know what I mean? Like if he's better looking than me, then it's like you gotta only room in this town for one of us. You know?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Or like maybe you're just out. And like, there's this thing where it's like, hey, he's bald, I'm bald.
I would love to say I have that like silent camaraderie
Yeah.
with other bald guys. I would love to say that. I don't think about it. Maybe now I will subconsciously because you said it. Now I'll just see bald guys and I'll be like, respect. You know, it might be one of those.
I think it's a whole culture.
It is a culture. It is.
You know, but I've been using Dollar Shave Club. Shout out to them if they want to sponsor me.
Shout out.
I got the analytics. I got the receipts. Let's go.
It is a culture actually, because it's funny that you say that it's a culture because I think there's a whole opposing culture that won't do it.
Yeah.
The Ring of Saturn motherfuckers, you know what I'm talking about?
Saturn.
Like, it's that
Like,
older generation. They love that. They love that. They love the Ring of Saturn. They'll
like
never get rid of it. They're just like, I have hair, and you look at them, and you're like, well, you don't. But they're like, no, I got it. It's right here. I got it.
I like it.
But they love it.
I like it a lot, and it's like 60% my choice. At this point,
but that's the thing about it is people don't really know if you go all the way with it. If you just shave it off, people won't really understand. You know,
Charlie was rocking it for a little bit, but he didn't like it.
Who?
Charlie Thurman.
Oh, he didn't like it.
He didn't like it.
Was it because he had to, or
no? He just wanted to.
He just wanted to try it. Didn't like it.
I loved it, but it's one of those things. Like, I think you got to be in it.
I got to be honest. I don't know if I would do it if I didn't have to. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, I don't know if I would just make the jump to just be a bald guy out of nowhere.
Man, you look like you rock it, dude. I feel like some people just have it.
I got lucky, man. I got lucky that I have a decent shaped head. Yeah, because that first time where you do it, you're like, please don't have a fucking crazy head. Please don't have like a
weird... Did you just see those people with the weird dips in their head?
I know. It's unfortunate. But yeah, you got to do it. You got to do it.
Well, this is it. Sunday, guys. It's raining. We're talking about heads, bald heads. It's good. You never know what you're going to get. Yeah, man. You look good, dude. And
thanks, brother. You too.
Yeah. You got it. What do you think? I did no beard with it like a month ago.
No, you can't. It's cue ball. It's cue ball time.
It was a little weird, yeah.
Yeah, no, I got to bring the... I'll never go like full beard. I don't know if I could do that like Kratos shit. You know what I mean? I'm not that guy, but
Kratos, like the PlayStation.
Yeah, God of War. Yeah,
like the PlayStation.
You got to be. I feel like you got to be jacked out of your mind to do one of those looks, and I think that's a good look if you have that. Like if you're bald, you have a huge beard, and you're like jacked, like that's fine. But you can't be like a scrawny dude and be having this long beard, because then you just look like some...
Like you've been stuck in a hole somewhere?
I don't know, like 40-year-old, 7-year-old homeless person. Like, you know what I mean? It's just weird.
Well, you heard it here, folks. CTP does not endorse 47-year-old homeless people.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about your next album coming out, or is it top secret?
No, it's not. Well, it's top secret in terms of what we're gonna release, but in terms of talking about it, no, we could go full force with it. It's gonna be a very different album, but it's I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. One of the things I like the best about our group is that if you've heard the first album, it has every genre. It really does. It hits, I like it. It hits everyone, and that's what we kind of wanted to do. We wanted to appeal to, because if you... Let's say you're a heavy metal group, right? You're going to appeal to, for the most part, you're going to appeal to heavy metal fans. And then people that like John Denver are not going to be into it, you know? So, but if you write kind of all around and it's dangerous too, because it could also be like, well, how do we market you if you're all over the place? But we kind of have that mindset. Yeah, it's a fine line. It is. But we kind of have that mindset where like, we want to write something for everyone. And I truly believe, which is saying a lot coming from me, because I don't have a lot of faith in my own material most of the time, but I think if you listen to our first album and you don't find something you like, I got nothing. I got no help for you. You just don't like music, I think, in my opinion. So what we're doing on the second album is very, very much the same, where the genres are all over the map, but they're different. Yeah, so like they're very, very, very different from the first album, but still very eclectic. You know, we still have a lot of different stuff going on. It's just...
So are we going to see more range or more of a specific range? Like, did you tone it down, like dial it in maybe a little bit more to specific things, like, hey, this worked really well, or, you know, I'm not really feeling this type of vibe at the moment? Because I feel like part of the reason why it's so like wide open maybe is because you guys are still new, feeling each other out. So has there been growth to the point?
So did like we lock into a specific,
not specific genre, but maybe a specific range?
Yeah, you know? It's hard to say. I don't know. The answer is kind of both. I don't know, because we did, in terms of the audio quality and in terms of the mixing, we really solidified like the style that we want and the, just the mix in general. But in terms of the genres, we're still kind of all over the place. The one thing I could say in terms of the genre, we went a little more electronic this time.
Okay.
We're kind of taking advantage of the modern sounds that are available to us in things like GarageBand.
So then, hold on. So then you would say that this definitely affected the songwriting, having to work remotely.
Yes.
Right. Cool.
Yes, I would say so.
Well, I'm
Absolutely.
interested to
And
hear
it
yeah.
was a combination of just wanting to go more that route anyway, and then being forced into doing it by not really having live instruments.
A product of the times.
A product of the times. Yeah, it is. And I think it's just so cool because it's we used to be so raw, like kind of Black Keys-esque, and that was kind of the era that Ty came from, and he loved that raw sound. And it was like, okay, we'll do guitar, piano, vocals, bass, drums, and like that's it, stripped down, very bare. And then we said, all right, well, but we don't really need to do that. And we just kind of discovered different things in GarageBand and just listening to different music. And we'll get into that too, because listening to other music is the best thing that you could do as a songwriter.
Yeah.
But yeah, we really discovered these really cool electronic sounds, but they're not, but we tried to do a very good job not making it tacky, not making it corny, not making it artificial. It's still very true to the cuethepilot sound, but it's just enhanced, and
Cool.
it's very, we have some really cool mixes. We have some really, really cool stuff on the
So nothing's finalized yet?
In terms of songs?
Yeah.
They are. Yeah, we have
it's
some
just
tracks
a matter
that are
of how
done.
it sounds. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. We're now at the stage where we're just trying to decide how many songs we want on it, because we're writing so much. We have so much material, and it's just like, all right, well, we could release, you could do with 30 songs, or we could do a short EP.
You could do like a Lose Your Illusion. Like
Lose Your Illusion.
The Guns N' Roses, like they did
oh yeah.
Like a double.
Mm-hmm.
Could do that.
I forgot they did that. Yeah. But yeah, we were trying to keep it. Our first album was 10 songs. We were trying to keep it to like that disc, like 10, 12, whatever. But then I don't know. Taylor Swift just dropped an album out of nowhere with 16 songs on it. So we were like, why can't we do that? So
why not?
We're just trying to see. So we'll weed them out, because we're also not going to use songs that we're not in love with. Because if we're not in love with them, you're not going to be. Because we're also not going to sell it that way. So otherwise, it's going to be artificial. So we want to kind of weed out the ones that we're like, all right, we could take or leave it. We want, because the ones that made it so far, and the ones that we have finalized, we have been gung-ho about, and it's been like, holy shit, we got to go forward on this one. We got to really
dip into this one. Yeah. And it's like, I gotta say, guys, like, live shows are not to be missed. I've had so much fun at your guys' shows, and
we have a lot of fun.
And I only hope that you can get closer to capturing the spirit of a live show in your recordings.
Yeah, no, I hope so too. I think that's very important to be able to do, to kind of transfer what you do on the album to the stage, and vice versa. Yeah. So I think that's. My brother still, my brother always talks about how Reflections, and the song Reflections, which in my opinion, but I don't know, I'm not in the audience, so I can't really capture that vibe. I'm just performing it. But I think Reflections on the album is superb. And he's like, yeah, man, but live, it's nothing like live. And people have told me that too. And they're just like, when it hits live, it's just like, it's like nothing else. And I don't know, maybe I'd agree if I was in the audience. So it's a different. But that's why it's cool to get that feedback. You know what I mean? It's cool to, because you would think, because me, I'm just like, oh, the album that's what it is. It's so much better than live. And they were like, no, live, trust me. So,
hey, let's throw it on, and then we could talk about it.
Oh God, you got time? It's like, what is it, 6 minutes?
Is it really 6 minutes?
It might be.
It's up to you. It is 7 minutes. That's a long time. Maybe we'll play it out on the outro.
We could play it on the outro, yeah.
That is a long time to be sitting here.
That's a long time, yeah.
And I want to talk to you more.
That's the first song we ever wrote, too.
Oh, you know what? We'll play it on the outro. I'll just let it run. And if you guys want to stick around and listen to it, I like it. So if you want to stick around and listen to it, it'll be on the outro. You mentioned it's very important to listen to other singer-songwriters. Do you have anyone specific to that genre or label? For me, it's Cat Stevens and Jack Johnson.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm. Those are my top.
Cool.
Then maybe Jim Croce.
Wow. Okay. Wow, that's
Neil Young.
Interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that, but I love hearing that.
Singer-songwriter,
cool.
that would be it.
Yeah. That's really cool. I like Jack Johnson a lot too.
Jack Johnson's so awesome, man.
I think he's underrated. I think people view him as just like one of those, like, you know, dime a dozen. No, I don't think so.
I don't know how they could.
I think he's something else. Yeah, I agree.
Not to get sidetracked again, because people hate when I do this, but did you see that he released a whole like worldwide collab, and he was doing like a little video tour
With like a bunch of different artists, you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, in one video had like 30 different musicians playing.
Really?
It was really cool. It was
That's
really
cool.
cool.
I like that. I
wish I knew the name. I would shout it out, but I'm sure if you go to his social media.
Nothing like a good collab. I actually saw. I think this is. It's not. I don't know. It's not even a popular song. I don't even think anyone knew about it. It came out. No one's heard of it. I talked about it. And it's not my favorite song in the world by any means. But talk about a collaboration. There was a song that was done by Ed Sheeran, Bruno Mars, and Chris Stapleton.
Really?
That's just. I mean, it doesn't get better than that.
During
like that,
the
those
pandy,
are kind of guys
or
like
just during the pandy.
No, it was a little bit before it. It was a song called "Blow," and it was, you know, it was kind of a straightforward like rock and roll song. They each did a verse and a chorus, whatever. But it was like if those guys made a whole album together, holy shit, that's a.
But do you think if they made a whole album together, it would still be the same, have the same effect?
I know what you're saying, and you might maybe not, but
yeah, I think that's part of the beauty.
I don't know.
Of it.
I would personally love to hear a whole album of those three guys.
Yeah,
just tearing it up because they're nuts. But I
love
when people collab like that.
Mm-hmm. These are these once in a lifetime opportunities. You know, you're lucky. You're like, your generation gets to hear it, and you might only get to hear it once.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think that's.
I love that
cool.
shit. I love that the magic behind music. You know.
Yeah, you could go on and on about that for
it transforms
hours and hours.
everything. Yeah, but quick, give me some top singer songwriters. You like Jack Johnson?
Top singer songwriters. That's so. Oh God, I gotta.
You know, Adele.
I gotta try to lock it into like a couple.
I like Adele.
8. Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
I like her. I like the that singer songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm pretty sure she writes her own music. In fact, I think part of the story of her story is that she didn't want to write love songs anymore, and the record companies were like, "Yeah, no, you're gonna write love stories."
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think she.
You know what's funny about that? I'm gonna sidetrack too. Actually, I was talking to a friend about this the other day. You know Sarah Bareilles?
I'm so bad with names, so.
You probably know the song though. Love song that she wrote. It was one of her most popular. I'm gonna write you a love song because you asked for it because you need one.
Yeah.
That
That's a good song.
It's such a genius song because Do you know what that song's about?
No. What?
It sounds like it's about some guy, right?
Was it a record company?
Yeah, it's about the record. They
Makes
wanted
sense.
her to write love songs, and she was like, "No, I'm not doing that shit. I want to be my own thing. I want to write my own thing." And it became a phenomenon. It was one of her biggest hits, and she's so good. I think she's such a good songwriter because she made the lyrics so subtle that if you didn't know that story, you would absolutely think it was your typical like singing about a guy. I'm not gonna write you a love song because you're nothing to me. Like, you know, you're so vain. You probably think this song is about that type of shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was about her record producer.
That's awesome.
Like, I'm not writing a love song, and it's one of those cool stories too because not only did she, you know, kind of go against the grain and write a song like that, but it was a hit. It was one of her biggest hits. If you know Sarah Bareilles, that was like her biggest song. So that's so cool.
If you go against the grain, you kind of have to make a hit.
Yeah, which is why, because you could completely destroy yourself if not.
If you don't make them hits, they're going to destroy you, yeah. But
talk about taking a risk.
If you're paying the bills, fuck it then. I guess you know better. I've been cursing a lot this show. I don't know.
What? What did you say?
I've been cursing a lot this show for some reason.
Oh, it's me. It's my fault.
It's your fault.
Yeah, I'm a bad influence. Should we not be? We didn't.
No, I don't care. It depends on who's on, I guess.
Yeah. No, I could stay away from it though.
No, I try not to. I guess it's one of those things where like I try not to just do it to do it, but
yeah.
Chris Yee says, I love Jack Johnson. I think we touched on that. Got to see him twice. Wow, I wish I got to see Jack Johnson.
I would definitely see Jack Johnson.
I had 2 opportunities to, and I didn't go twice, and that's so upsetting. I should have just went.
Yeah. Now you won't make that mistake again, especially with a pandemic. If at any given point it could all shut down, Jack Johnson's performing. You're going.
I was gonna go to Roger Waters. I was gonna take my brother, surprise him, take him.
Oh really?
But obviously that's all canceled. It's expensive though, dude. It was like $500. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Really?
For 2 tickets.
Do you do the StubHub thing?
I do. or whatever it is, Ticketmaster or whatever.
If you could, I don't know, it's a gamble, but if you could do the StubHub thing, the way that I buy tickets for every event, unless it's actually, no, not even unless it's somewhere else. What I do is I wait till the last minute. You follow it on StubHub, you track it. If the concert is at 8:00, keep refreshing the page until an hour before, a half hour before. If you're ballsy like me, you'll go like a couple minutes before, and the prices will just drop, and you'll get tickets for nothing. I've had success 95% of the times with that. I actually went to, you're not going to believe this. I went with my brother to see Bruce Springsteen in Jersey. I live in New York. We went to Jersey. We drove, 2 hours. It was at the, whatever that big stadium is, and the one in Jersey. But whatever, we drove 2 hours. I still hadn't bought the tickets.
The PNC.
Still hadn't bought the tickets. Yeah, I think so.
Wachovia Center or whatever.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So the show was, let's say, at 8:00 or whatever. Still hadn't bought the tickets. And Mike's like, what are you doing? We got tickets. We just drove to Jersey. Literally on the line to present the ticket to the ticket collector. I bought it. There were 2 people in front of me, and I clicked it, and then I had it, and then I presented it to the people on my phone.
Living on the edge.
Yeah, because they literally, by the minute, it's not even like by the minute. Once you get down to that last hour, every single minute, the prices drop. So we would have spent like, I don't know, $400 on a ticket. I spent like $30.
That's crazy. But the thing is, I was trying to get like right there.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. You can't risk it like
people
that.
Were just buying them up, so I was like, I gotta buy this, and then I didn't because Pandy had them, and I'm glad I didn't because I don't know, who knows. I hate that shit where they're like, no refund, but we'll let you know when they're playing again. It's like, wait, what? All right, so.
But you're right. If you want to be down in the front, general admission,
because I never go. So why, I'd rather spend the money and have the best time possible.
I had, I went to see 30 Seconds to Mars, and I don't know. You could say it's a Jared Leto thing because he's one of those like give to the community, like make sure everyone's down front. And what he did was I had tickets in the nosebleeds, and there was a security guard up there that blocked off the area, and they said, Jared Leto doesn't want anyone being far away. He wants everyone up close. So come down. And he brought everyone down. Now, I don't know if that's him actually being like, I don't want anyone to be far, or if it's like, well, we didn't sell out, so you might as well come down. Because if you did,
that's what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's a combination of both.
That's a good. Hey, listen, there's a way to handle yourself, and that's a-okay with me. Because you don't want to have like half the audience way up there, nobody in the middle, and then everybody right there. It's weird.
Yeah,
I would hate it.
That was a cool show though.
Like imagine playing in like a decent sized venue.
And it spread out.
You got like 20 people right at the front of the stage, and then like 100 feet away from you.
Yeah,
weird.
Yeah. It looks like a bad chocolate chip cookie. Like there's just barely any chips. Yeah.
So you mentioned that it's just you and Ty now. So are you looking for members? I believe you guys said you had a band filled out. It was just a matter of.
So what we're doing, we're kind of and then I do want to cycle back to your question because we both got sidetracked and I forgot to answer about
artists. At least we're keeping track so far.
No, it's good. 2 bald brains.
That's it.
Keeping tabs.
No hair makes us link
up. It gets in and out. So we're not really looking for at the moment full-time members.
Okay.
We're especially now because of the pandemic. You can't really. It's hard enough to commit. When you have X amount of guys and you're adding more in, and it's just, well, what is the world going to do? Like, are we even going to play? Whatever. So what we're looking to do is we're looking to have it be me and Ty, full time. We're going to write all the songs. We're going to, punch everything out. And then we will have guys come in. So basically what we want to do is we want to have an arsenal. We want to have drummers and bass players. We want to have a ton of them on call that know our music. So what we're doing is all the drummers and bass players that we know, we're sending them our stuff. Listen to this, learn the songs like the back of your hand, and we'll just pull you in, so that like if gigs start up again and, we're playing a million venues, it could be like, hey, are you available to play drums tonight? Nah, sorry, man. Okay, are you? Are you? So we just have a bunch of guys that know our stuff that could just hop in at any time.
Very cool.
And we'll have priority guys too, in terms of loyalty or whatever. If you really give us 110%, you'll be our first call. And split the profits, whatever.
Let me know if you want a retired has-been to come play some bass lines.
Dude, anytime. I've seen you play. I know you got what it takes.
Let's do it.
And you would probably love to play with us too.
I would love to play with you guys. I thought you guys already locked people in, so I stopped asking.
No, we could definitely. I mean, again, like I said, it's just who knows what's happening in terms of once we open up. But when we do, man, I know you probably know our songs better than anyone else. So
I'll have to
who
dig
better to
into
have
it.
with us?
Let's do it.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely. Yeah, that'll
I
be
don't
fun.
know if I could wear high heels anymore, but
Yeah. You can wear sneakers.
Sneakers are good. Cool.
Yeah, sneakers are good.
Okay. So singer-songwriter.
So yeah, so that's a loaded question there because there's so many, and I think I don't know if you asked Ty that same question, but I think he would have a longer list than me.
I don't know if it was singer-songwriter, but we did talk about his influences, I believe.
Yeah. So I would say probably the number one for me is Jeff Buckley. That's definitely number one, and then Symphony X. All these guys nobody knows. Definitely not Symphony X. Symphony X is a progressive metal band.
Yeah. Wait, from they're Asian?
No.
Symphony X. Okay.
They're from Jersey. Crazy group.
Good
like
old
just
Jersey.
one of those. Yeah. Yeah, definitely Jeff Buckley, Symphony X. My God, where do I even pull from? Well, there's so many. Obviously, I don't want to be cliche, but Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
No one doesn't like those guys.
But these are like bands, though. I'm talking.
You're thinking like singer-songwriter.
Singer-songwriter type of deal, because I feel like there's a difference between a collective and like Cat Stevens.
You're right. You're gonna laugh. You know who's right now on the top of my list because I'm not a pop radio guy. I'm not a
Hit me with it.
Billie Eilish.
Wow.
Billie Eilish is shutting it down right now, and she's doing such cool stuff. She's just, I guess maybe the credit is more to her brother, who's really the producer on it, but just the stuff that they do, man, is so.
She did SNL, and she had like a broken foot, and she was still doing the
oh really
upside down shit where the room's spinning.
Oh yeah.
And she's walking on it. So like the camera's going one way and the room's going the other, so it looks like she's like walking on the.
Okay.
Which is cool. I think she did a music video like that, so I think when she did SNL, she performed that, which is cool.
Oh, okay, cool.
I haven't heard too much of her stuff. I've seen a lot of the meme material that came out.
Yeah, now it's not even as much like, I mean, if you sit and listen to an album of hers, I guess as just a listener or whatever, if you're looking for like a song to vibe to or whatever, it might not be your cup of tea. But if you're listening as a musician and you're just listening to everything that they put into it production wise and all the different sounds they use and all the different ways that they go about writing, it's so.
I love the bass.
So good. Yeah, the bass. And what's funny about the bass too, it's a ballsy move, but if you don't have a system that could handle it, try to listen to When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? That album. Try to listen to that on like your iPhone, not in speakers.
You won't hear
headphones.
half of it.
It'll just be. It'll just like it can't handle it. She was like, you know what? I'm gonna write it for people that have good systems.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. She's a musician first. Fellow musician, kind of like a man's man, a musician's musician, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. I see you're drinking a lot of water. I heard there was gonna be. I promised the people you'd be drinking. So what do you have?
I completely forgot. But I can run and grab something. Unreal. I got. It's funny. I'm not a beer guy. I'm not.
I can tell. Do you want to switch to? I got brandy here.
You could tell. What do you mean you could tell?
You've been reluctant to drink.
No, it wasn't that.
Wait, hold on, time out. I don't want people to think I'm pushing you to drink. We just mentioned it a couple times.
No, I'll grab a beer too. You know what I have? I have Leinenkugels.
What's a Kugel?
Leinenkugel. It's a German beer.
Oh, Leinenkugel. They said wine and Kugel.
Like, no.
It's like a White Claw. Okay.
No, White Claw, no. But I like it because I don't like the majority of beer. I really don't.
What is it that you like about it? Is it light?
It's like I don't know what it is because I can't even answer those questions. Like people that know beer, they're like, oh, this is a hoppy beer. This is a a heavy whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I just like it. Maybe it's the lemon. I'm a big lemon guy. It's a lemon
citrusy beer. Okay, so I love a good sour beer. Still Partners had a sour beer for a while that I really dig.
Are you an IPA guy?
Well, that's the whole thing. So I used to just drink. I grew up drinking PBRs and Budweiser, and then I went to Croxley's with my ex and tried Sour Monkey because I like sour beers every now and then, Okay. And then I would go, and then one day they didn't have it, and then they had this other thing, and I tried that, and then it was like, oh, IPA. you know, and then there was like a beer distributor down the street. So then we started trying different. Oh man, I can't drink Budweiser now.
No, it's
now
God. And I'm
drinking
by any means
Montauk
I'm no
right now, but
Huh?
I'm
What do you got?
drinking Montauk, the Wave Chaser IPA.
Okay.
But
You got the logo sporting it. I like it.
yeah, you know, you gotta do it. Although with the
marketing.
what's it called? With the green screen,
Mm-hmm.
you can kind of see the background in it, so it's kind of hard to. There we go. Like,
I don't think I'm seeing what other people are seeing. I actually.
Oh
see
no,
the
you
green.
can't. Yeah, here's the logo.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot. So
but,
let's throw a tune on real quick, and then we'll talk about IPAs and stuff.
Yeah, man.
That way I can get another one, you can get some, because you know I feel like I drink a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm always drinking by myself. Like I've definitely had a couple people that don't drink.
Okay.
Which is totally cool, so I don't even mention it. So I'm always just drinking like my coffee cup. You know, it'd be nice to share a beer with somebody.
Yeah, man. Do it. Throw on a song.
What do you think? She?
Ooh, baby, my favorite song on the album, which nobody agrees with me. It's my favorite song. My favorite song on the album.
Okay.
Wanted to call it She. Wanted to call the album She. It's my favorite. Yeah, play it.
All right, cool. So I'll see you in a couple minutes.
Cool.
All right. Dude, so good, man. Cheers to that.
Yo, who plays guitar like that?
I know.
Who plays guitar like that? Dude,
Cheers.
he's like, what, 26 years old? I actually don't even know. I think 25 or 26. Who plays guitar like that?
Yeah, you know, something very interesting. I thought this whole time he went to school for music, and he didn't.
And for film. He's just like, by the way, I'm just going to also be the best guitarist you've ever heard on the side for no reason. Some people have it.
Crazy, you know, man. Some people have it. You know, I was really digging. He did a couple different Pink Floyd solo. He did a couple different things on Instagram and stuff. Really cool.
Yeah. He's crazy, man. People don't play like that. I got Line Kugels. It's called Orange Shandy, which actually is different. Usually it's the lemon one, but it's orange, which is even better.
Interesting. Where do you go for this? Like a beer distributor?
Huh? Yeah.
Cheers. Hold on, let's get a real cheers going.
A real cheers? How do we do it?
Nice. There you go.
I love it.
It's for the people at home. Sorry, man. We gotta have some fun ourselves.
People at home. Yeah. Beer,
that's cool.
Yeah, beer is not my thing in general. Although I love this. I could have a ton of these right now. Actually, I love this. But my thing is actually, you know what my drink is?
Vodka.
Recently discovered. No, it's not. You're gonna laugh. It's port wine. Have you ever had port wine?
No. I mean, maybe. I don't drink wine, but when I do, it's usually just given to me.
Port wine it's awesome.
You got it. What's the difference between port wine and unported?
Port wine and what?
I don't know.
I don't understand drink jokes because I don't know anything.
Part of the reason why I do this show is because I want to learn. So if you can teach me a little bit right now, maybe give me a quick rundown of what the difference is between wines.
It's the only thing I know about, so I will talk about it.
Let's do
it. It's like a wintry wine. It's like it's kind of like what the pirates used to drink in like back in the day. Like it was like a sweet. It's sweet though.
Okay.
It's a really sweet wine.
I can tell you already, I don't like it.
Yeah, but dude, you gotta try it. You gotta try it because I wasn't a sweet wine guy by any means. It's just one of those things you have to try, and you could hate it. You could.
So when you come into the studio, send us your rider the next time you're on the show.
We need port wine,
and we'll get
Taylor
you port wine.
Taylor.
You write it up. Your people send it to my people, and we'll make sure it's here.
Dude, it's nice. It tastes great. You have to put ice in it. It tastes great.
Oh, you actually chill it like that?
Well, I don't know if you have to. That's just the person that showed it to me. They said that it's better with ice in it or whatever, and it is. I didn't like it warm at all. I didn't. And then you throw ice in it, and it's a very different ball game. But it's a nice. You get lit up pretty quick, man. You really do. You have like one, maybe two. If you have two, you're like all of a sudden you're like, where did this come from? Because it's such a sweet wine. You think you're drinking like juice, and then all of a sudden it sneaks up on you. But it's a nice like buzz. It's not like beer where you get a stomach ache. It's not like vodka where you're throwing up. Like it's just.
I don't like vodka. That's disgusting. But I don't know. I just figured piano player. Whatever.
You would think, you would. Little glass on the side of the piano.
Yeah. Well, that's why I've been drinking Montauk's lately. Because a lot of the IPAs I drink are like 8 and up in alcohol content, so like it's rough. It can be really rough if you're not careful about it, you know. Like especially like Budweiser's 5%. So I can drink that all day and do shots and stuff and be fine.
You though? You,
I do, but not
Budweiser,
now.
man.
Not now.
Oh yeah, you're
I
saying you
have
could,
a
yeah.
refined taste. I've been exposed to the finer
Good.
things in life. But I switched to the Montauk because it's only 6.7, so I can kind of hang out for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to kind of balance it. But I mean, yeah, I understand what you're saying about the wine thing. I have different IPAs for different things. Like sometimes when I make steak, I really want an Imperial Voodoo Ranger. For some reason, that's like, to me, that's like one of the best.
They go with different things.
Yeah.
Different things go. Yeah.
I never
like
thought
if I'm having a burger, I'm probably not gonna have a glass of port wine. You know, actually, I'd probably have a peach Snapple above anything else. But if I was gonna have a drink with a, you know, I'd have a beer or something with a burger.
Yeah,
it's just like it goes.
Sure. Yeah.
Huh?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I never been like I don't think I'm a snob about it, but I'm definitely not drinking any piss water.
Yeah, dude. It's funny. I know people that'll drink like Coors Light and they're like, this is the best. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any real drink in the world?
I
Coors Light?
remember growing up, you know, that was like a big taboo in the house. It was like all Budweiser and PBR, but like, you know, like I remember one time they just gave us like a whole bunch of Coors Lights, like whatever, you take them. Right?
Yeah.
I had a half of one, didn't want it. I
know. You can't pay me to drink a Coors Light.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want this
at
shit.
That point.
Yeah,
no, it's not.
Yeah.
But I mean, you go back, think about like high school and shit like that. Like when people would, I mean, no one drank in high school, but like, you know, they would have their Budweisers and they'd have their Coors Lights and they would think they were the coolest people.
You get a 30-pack, it's cheap, like Natty Ice.
But like even I don't know, even at the time I was like, you guys are really, there's nothing about this that you're enjoying. You just think you're cool because you're underage and you got some beers and you're like, oh wow, yeah.
I don't know. I was a drinker growing up.
You were a drinker growing up?
I still am.
I was not
just
at all.
Not you know, just not. I'm responsible now. You know. No, for sure. I was drinking a lot.
No, I was that guy at a party. I would be like nursing some Coors Light and pretending to drink it because I did. It's gross, man. It's like, listen, if I was underage and they were serving port wine, I'd be an underage drunk.
Yeah,
but
you're not going to a house party and be.
That's what I'm saying. They give you Coors Light. It's like, of course I'm not gonna drink. Of course I'm not gonna.
I was born. I was raised in Jersey. I don't know if you know this. So it's like, you know, a lot of like wood parties. Like you can go in the woods, have parties. There's like house parties and stuff. It's like all that different stuff. Kind of like here, probably, I imagine. But like, I think at one point the big wave trend was slapping the bag. So you get like the box wine. Oh my God. And you know, you drink it and you slap it and all this fucking wine shoots out. That was like a huge thing. Yeah. That was like a big thing. Anyway, so yeah, actually I want to kind of go back a little bit. So Ty, I didn't realize he didn't take lessons. I thought you went to school for it. So how about yourself? Because I mean, I've gotten to witness you multiple times now playing those keys, man. And there's one song, I forget what the name is, but you're just going at it.
Was it like a solo? Like there's nothing else going on?
A lot of melodic stuff going on. I mean, you got to have some kind of training or something.
Yeah, well, I learned I started playing piano in college, actually. Because I went to school for music education, and one of the requirements was to play piano, which
for music theory.
Doesn't seem to be a requirement for, I don't know. But in our school, it was very heavy. They were very heavy on piano, so yeah. But it wasn't really like individual attention, so I just kind of had to figure it out myself. For the most part, because what keyboard was in school was, it was a classroom and it was like 30 people in the classroom and they each had an individual keyboard and they would plug headphones in and they would play their own stuff. So they would give you an assignment. They would be like, you have to learn this song and then take a test on it, you know, by the end of the week or whatever. But it wasn't really like
individual training.
No, it was kind of like, figure it out. And if you have a question, raise your hand and I'll tell you how to play this chord or whatever. But it wasn't like they were sitting down with you teaching you scales or anything like that. So it really was, you were learning on your own for the most part.
Do you like that style of learning?
Learning?
Do you excel? No. Some people do, some people don't.
I mean, I guess I technically did, but I had to. I don't know. My experience was different. I did. I jumped into something coincidentally at the same time that I was in over my head with, and I kind of had to just force myself to be able to be ready in time. There was someone offered me a job musically directing a show where like a musical
Wow.
where I was
How
teaching.
old? How old were you?
It was my first or second year in college, so I don't know whatever your age you are in your second year of college.
So yeah,
First year I think it was. So I like did
so
not
you're a
really.
younger guy, new to the world, and it's like,
Yeah.
hey, direct this musical.
Yeah, and I didn't know what I was getting into. I was one of
Wow.
those guys that would just say yes to shit just to be
For the
nice or
school?
whatever. Huh?
For the school? Sorry.
No, it wasn't for the
Okay.
school. It was something else. And so they asked me to do it, and I was like, I was very new to piano. I didn't really know what I was doing, but from what I understood, I should have asked more questions. From what I understood, I was just kind of going to be teaching the music, which that I knew how to do at that point. Like I knew how to teach kids like their melodies or whatever. But then they were like, oh, by the way, also you're going to play the whole score on piano and organize the pit band and lead them and conduct them. I was like, oh, well, I should probably learn how to play the piano then, because I think
Wow.
that's probably the main thing you got to do. So I did. I just kind of forced myself to be able to do it by the time the show went up. And then I was just getting calls after that to musically direct more shows. So it was just kind of like I was thrown in to doing it,
Yeah.
and I just had to do it. So it's kind of a blessing in disguise, because I think if I, even though I learned in college a little bit, I think if I wasn't thrown into that environment where I had to just, pedal to
Sink
the
or
metal,
swim.
cue the pilot, if you will.
Cue the pilot. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I wouldn't have been able to do it. But so whatever, everything happens.
What's
for a
the
reason.
time frame for something like that? A month, 6 months
For like a show?
before
like that?
you have to be ready. How long do you have to prepare?
I would say about a month to a month and a half, like definitely under 2 months. But
Oh, and I guess looking back on it, you changed, right?
yeah,
That's cool.
yeah,
Growth.
yeah.
Now, did that kickstart something in you where you're like, you know what, this is something I want to do?
Well, yeah, in terms of piano and everything, it definitely did. It was just kind of more exciting as I was getting these jobs and everything, and as I was playing, I was really loving it. And they paid too, so I was like, well, that's good.
Hey, money's good, especially if you're
can't go wrong
playing
with that.
music. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's got to be a good
So-
incentive. A lot of people don't get that. A lot of people don't make any money while they're doing it, and they still keep going. So it's like it takes a certain type, right?
Yeah, and I didn't make money off it for a while, and it was a combination of what was being offered originally and just my personality. I was just like, yeah, I'll help you out. I'll dedicate all my time and then get no money whatsoever. I was just like that guy, whatever. And then it got to a point where other people that were musically directing were like, I'm sorry, you're not taking money for these things?
Right.
I was like, no, I don't know. But also I felt like I was so new and I wasn't like experienced. So I was like, who am I to be like, give me money for my craft? I was like, I don't even know if I'm good at my craft yet. I don't want to demand money. But then other people told me, they were like, no, you could be taking these gigs and be making money. So I was like, all right. So then I did that.
Yeah, I mean, there's something to it too, especially if people that are, at least in your eyes, successful with it start saying, hey, what are you doing? That might be like an eye opener, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
but
I've always treated everything I've done like pretend like you've made it and act accordingly, because even starting now, like, like I sent you that memo. I had there's a producer that's been working on the show with me, because I want a little bit more professionalism. So we send out that little letter, it's like with the cover, and just the way we kind of conduct ourselves. Because like even when I was just doing music, it's like I want everything to be professional. Right. But it was kind of the same thing. I mean I lived in New York for like maybe a year, and then my boss found out that I played bass. So she was like, man, if I played bass, I'd play that thing walking down the street. I played everywhere. I was like, all right. So she encouraged me to start a band. So I put out a Craigslist ad, and actually Monkey hit me up. But I went to a couple things where like people weren't there. It was so weird. Like they just never showed up and shit.
Yeah,
so it was
of course. And you hated that non-professional environment. Yeah, you couldn't. But
I barely played any music really, so I didn't even know. And like it just turned me off. So I actually ignored Monkey. And then he actually called me and was like, hey, you want to come down here tonight and play? And I was like, sure.
And that was the start of it?
Yeah, and Soda didn't even know I was coming there. But I was like, really talented people. And I'm like this young kid that has no idea what the fuck he's doing. And it was like, oh shit. And we actually wrote a song in a half an hour.
Oh, that's cool.
And I was like, you know what? Maybe I can do it. But for a long time, it was that whole like, oh shit, man, I don't know. Like, let me just kind of make it work, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And it was just the two of you, and you wrote that song in a half
It was
hour?
3 of us.
Three of you?
But
Yeah.
Soda didn't know we
That's
were
cool.
coming, that I was coming.
Oh, okay.
He had no idea. It's funny because actually Soda met Monkey because they played. He was in this band, A Motion Picture, who actually took home 1 year Long Island's best music video.
Wow.
But it was just him and one guy, Terry something, on the drums. And he played this bar, and Monkey played with him at one point. Like they played a show together, and like he just remembered like Soda walking on the bar and stuff. So you know, this is their tale to tell. But
Yeah.
well, rest in peace, Monkey. Actually, it's Soda's tale to tell. But you know, he was like, if you ever want a drummer, just hit me up. So whatever happened down the line, they were meeting up anyway, and then I joined.
Yeah.
I showed up. Yeah. And it's history.
I love it.
But it was this whole moment. The point is a whole moment of like really having to push yourself, not believing in yourself completely.
Yeah.
You
Of
know.
course.
So yeah.
But that's cool, man. I love that.
Well, that's part of like I don't think like normal people. I keep doing quotations, man. Like, but there is something about like normal people. You know, it's like non-creative types. And they
elucidate on that. I want to go into that.
Yeah, it's just I don't think they understand the experiences that we go through.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Or they don't experience these circumstances. Like I've learned to see things for what they are. Like there's no coincidence, you know, not to sound like Yoda, but like I really feel like things happen for a reason sometimes. And sometimes you're given these little opportunities, man, and you kick yourself when you don't take them. But I think people just going through life, they don't see things that way.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But when you're in this creative bubble with other creative types, things happen. Like I had Brian Kroll on for My Son the Bum last week, and most of his story about getting a global audience, he just happened to stumble in it. Like his first members of his band, his roommate put out a newspaper ad for backup singers, and he just happened to pick up the call, and he just ended up with people for his band. So you know, or like people just so happened to he bumped into somebody, and you know this person had a radio or whatever it was.
That's how it goes. And you're right. I think if you're not in that kind of environment, you don't really experience those situations. Yeah.
I've been very fortunate to be exposed to it. I've definitely been most of my success in my life has been because I've recognized opportunities, and just have the confidence to go after it, I guess.
That's the key right there, is to have the confidence to go after them. Once it's step one to recognize it. It's step two to go after it. So
it's like you with the directing and stuff. It's like when people are like, hey, why aren't you taking money? You're like, oh, but like now you would know.
Like, pay me my money. Yeah, no.
Yeah, give me the loot.
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
Cool, man.
But that's how the story with me and Tyler went too. And it's funny, like if you like, I could have gotten anyone. You know what I mean? Like, granted, I knew his skill in guitar. So like when I'm not gonna go through the whole story because this story I know we've exhausted it a million times, like how me and Ty started.
So
and all
much
that.
time.
We do. I mean, we do.
It's good to hear your perspective. Go ahead, give me a lowdown.
But yeah, so basically the way it happened with me and Ty, like we met when we were very young and we were doing shows and stuff like that, and then you know, life just kind of takes you in your own directions. We just hadn't spoken for a while, not for any reason other than, you know, life. But and I was just thinking one day, you know, I was never the kind of person that wanted to start a band. I really wasn't. It was just one of the things that I didn't think to do, or did think about doing, but then just didn't want to. It's not where I saw myself. And then but I wanted to collaborate with someone at one point. I was just like, I want to just start writing something. And I hit up Ty, and he was just like, he just I was like, oh, you want to start collaborating, like writing whatever? And he was like, yeah, let's just meet up and let's start whatever. So I went over his house and we were just jamming around. You know, I had my keyboard and he had his guitar, and we were just noodling around or whatever. And then we were like, oh, wait, something's going on here. We're doing some stuff, you know? So we just knew that we had to keep going with that. And we knew that and then it turned into a band, like, which we weren't even sure about. It wasn't like we had made the decision to make a band. It was like, we just want to collaborate. We want to write together. We want to do whatever, even maybe play cover songs or whatever. But then we just started writing, and it was just a cool thing. And so basically what I was getting at, cycling back, I did know his guitar skill and I knew he was that good, but in terms of the way he writes and the way he sings and the ideas that he had, like, it's one of those once in a lifetime things that you fall into, that you can collaborate with someone like that. Because I could have just called up some guitarist that I knew was good or whatever, but then he might not have had the brain to, to write the way he does or to whatever. But I mean, to just stumble upon, and that was the first thing I ever attempted in terms of like starting a group or starting a collaboration with someone. And it doesn't get, I'm not just gassing him up, it doesn't get better than Ty. It really does. Like, there's no one that does what he does. And like, if you crawl inside that brain, it's like, I don't even know if you want to crawl inside that brain, because it's a whole monster. Things happen. Like, it's crazy. It's a crazy brain. But the things he can do, man, it's just crazy that you could fall into something like that just with a phone call. It was just like sitting down one day, and he was too. We were just sitting, and I was just like, I'm going to text Ty. I want to see what he's up to. And then I remember the way that he told it. He was like, I was just sitting in class, twiddling my thumbs, not paying attention to the professor, talking about some bullshit that no one cares about. And he was like, he got the text and he was like, yeah, I want to do it. Cause he was just, and he talked about how he was in that mindset where he's like, why am I not creating? Why am I not doing anything? And then he got that call from me, that text from me. And it was like, yeah, let's just do it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those things.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah, man. So
I mean, just look at, I talked to him for like 5 or 7 hours or something. I forget what it is. He's just one of the, like, kind of like, we're just kind of ripping. It's good.
Yeah.
You know, and he's definitely a creative person, but you guys are like yin and yang. I feel like you definitely, you know,
we always talk about that. We balance each other out in the ways
so well.
Yeah,
I can tell just by talking to you guys one on one, because usually you guys are together. But I can tell now that I've had the experience, like, yeah, you guys are perfect for each other, man.
Yeah.
I hope you guys don't stop making music.
No, it's cool though. You know what I mean? Like it is. It's it just, and it's just easy too, man. Like when we work together, it's just easy. Like I don't think we've ever had an argument in our lives. Not saying that can't happen down the road.
Sure.
But like we just, I don't know. We have very, very, very similar ideas. Yeah. And even when we don't have the same idea, we're open to it because we trust each other. You know what I mean? So like,
that's a big thing.
Yeah. So like, if I'm seeing something one way and he has an idea, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I don't know, that wasn't the way I was thinking about it. But I'm like, yeah, but I trust him. So let him show me what it is. Because if he has an idea and he wants to run with it, chances are it's going to be a good idea. So that level of trust, and he feels the same way. That level of trust, when you just run with that, and then it turns out to be, it's always something that we go with. You know, when one of us has an idea that we really speak up about, you know, it's like, okay, let's do that. So it's just always easy, and great things come from it, I think. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, it never needs to stop. Keep going. Keep cueing the pilot, man.
Yeah.
Again, guys, if you happen to be in the area, or if you catch wind of a show, go check them out. Live shows are not to be missed. Very cool. I think it's been an hour, so you know what? Are you ready to premiere your promo video?
Yeah, man. Let's do it.
Do you want to give a little backdrop before we jump into it, or do you want to just let it play?
You know what? Let it play, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay. I will see you in a minute. There we go. Yeah, there's no audio playing, in case you were wondering, for us.
Oh, for us, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, that was awesome.
Cool, right?
Yeah, it was so cool. I purposely didn't finish it when I watched it, because I wanted to have a live take on it.
Live, yeah.
But that transition was so cool when it's all the color in the background stuff.
Yeah.
Now this is just a promo. For this
that's
is
a promo.
Be a
so that's one of our new songs that's coming out on the new album, and Those two girls, that's very good friends of mine, Greta J and Liesel J. They're sisters, and they're both ridiculous gymnasts, and they're just insane.
Cool.
You should follow them on Instagram and Facebook, and just look at and TikTok and all that, and look at their videos. They do crazy things. And yeah, so they just I see them post all the time, and they always do these cool videos to music or whatever. So I was just joking around with them, and I was like, oh, you should do something to one of our songs. And they were like, yeah, we absolutely should.
Cool.
And so they were like really into it. And so we just decided to throw something together, and I gave them complete control because they're geniuses. And I just said, I was like, listen, I gave them a couple options for different songs or whatever, and they chose that song. They wanted to do it. And I said, I don't want to tell you anything. I was like, here's a song. I have like one idea as a concept in mind. And I said, I want you to just roll with it. I want you guys to be in charge. And they just came up with some cool stuff, and we were talking about it. And yeah, they're just, oh my God, they're amazing. They
cool.
Really
well,
are.
shout out to them. I don't have their links, I don't think.
I could send them to you. Yeah, I don't know if
we'll put them in the chat. I see Ty creeped in here. I see you, buddy. Maybe you could post some links.
Ty, yeah.
Help
Ty,
us out
while we're
chilling.
While we're gabbing. Yeah.
Also, Carlos V.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. And Carlos. Yeah. So he's the videographer, and he took it and edited everything. So definitely follow him as well. I definitely meant to put his name out there. So Ty, yeah, if you could gather put
the links out,
those
please.
3 people, and get their links going. He does amazing stuff. If you check out his channel or whatever, he puts together some really professional video. What's up?
Have you worked with him before? Or is it the first time?
No, he's actually really good friends with Liesel. And yeah, he does all kinds of professional work, videography, and they just threw that together. They were all very excited about the project. It wasn't like, none of them were like, all right, we'll throw this thing together for you, whatever. They were all just gung-ho about it, and they wanted to jump into it.
That's important.
And yeah,
you can't get people that are
very
like,
cool.
well, all right, I guess.
Yeah. No, they were into it.
So cool, man. So many cool things on the horizon for CTP. I'm excited.
Yep.
Now, you think maybe first live show, just to go in with a bang, you're gonna have the dancers there? Something to think about.
That's a suggestion.
Blew your mind.
We totally could.
Yeah.
We really could. Oh, if we had the right venue, that would be.
If you could play at one place after this pandy ends, where would you like to play? Revolution,
I gotta think about
Mr.
that.
Beery's, trying to think of Village Pub.
Wait, do you mean realistic or?
Yeah,
or
not Madison Square Garden.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
although I would love to see you there, man. I'll do everything I can to help you get there. But if you weren't playing there before, I don't think you're jumping in there right away.
I'm trying to think.
Okay.
I don't know. Places we've played. I love playing Amityville Music Hall. But I'm trying to think of places that we haven't played yet. I mean, Revolution would be cool too to play in there.
Yeah.
But.
All right. Basically, we're gonna get you all over the place anyway. Do you now? Yeah. What about would you go back to Partners?
Yeah, definitely would.
Cool place,
Partners
right?
Was cool.
Love that place. Yeah.
Yeah.
We just donated towards their GoFundMe. They hit their goal.
Oh yeah.
Dude, they needed like $50,000, dude. Yeah. I mean, just imagine something. I feel businesses right now, man. I have no idea.
I don't know what's happening. It's out there.
Sad.
It's a scary time. It's a scary time for everyone. It really is in so many ways.
I'm very fortunate. I've worked 6 days a week during this whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
We deal in video editing and live stream equipment. So this is like our time. Business is booming, but I know there's a lot of people that are food industry and stuff. Let me get your opinion, right? Because I've been doing like some V dates with different girls or whatever, and it's finally to the point where like we're starting to go out and stuff. How do you feel about going to restaurants and things?
I like to stay away from them as much as humanly possible.
Right.
I mean, in terms of going to public places like that, I'm really trying to stay away from it. Hang out with a couple people outdoors, stay 6 feet away or whatever. Yeah, that's fine. But in terms of like going into a bar or a restaurant, I don't know. I feel like just play it safe and not for now. As
Yeah.
much as I hate what it's doing to,
Hmm.
these business owners, and I want to give them my business. Um, but I don't know. But I mean, but at the same time, I also feel like if the if they're doing the right thing, if they're kind of keeping people separated, if maybe they'll skip a table, they'll leave one table
Yeah.
empty, and then they'll go to the next one. If they're doing it right, yeah, I'm not trying to go to a
But
bar where
what's doing it
everyone's
right
elbows to
though?
elbows.
Let's be
Huh?
real. Let's like what's doing it right? If
What
it's
is doing it
yeah,
right?
because if it's that bad, if it's that contagious, do you really think you're safe because you skipped a table?
I mean, yeah, you could,
That's in my head. I just think it's
yeah.
not. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like it. It's been tried maybe a couple times now. It's been interesting. I think what
Mhm.
I'd rather do is still support the restaurant, get the takeout,
Yeah, no,
go to
definitely.
a park,
Definitely.
have
Yeah.
a picnic or something.
Yep. Yep. I think that hits it on the head.
Yeah, that's. I think for now on, that's my move because I don't know. It's weird too. Like you put the mask on, you go in, then you go to your spot, then you take the
Mhm.
mask off. But
Mhm.
like now everybody has no masks, and the waiter's muffling.
Nah,
Oh,
I know. And you can't, oh my God, you can't understand
it's like
anyone, man. You can't understand anyone with the masks on.
and
I
who
went to,
knows what they're doing in the
what was the
kitchen?
place I went? What'd you say?
No, I said who knows what they're doing in the kitchen?
Yeah, really, right?
Yeah.
No, I went to Qdoba. It's I don't know if you know it.
Cadobo.
It's like Chipotle. It's like
Oh, okay.
counter, whatever you want to call it,
Counter
for
service.
Mexican food. And the guys were asking me what I wanted on the burrito, and like I had no idea what they were saying. I had no idea what I have a
Oh,
mask on. They have a mask on.
you
It
should
was
just
just this
point it.
nonsense interaction. Yeah, I just had to point because it was like
Mhm.
anytime we spoke, it was like I don't know what you're talking about. So
Yeah, dude. It's one of those things, man. But people are just trying to make a living.
I know, but
So
I
I
really
support.
think
I do
too,
a lot of
like,
takeout. I cook a lot more, but I do takeout on the weekends a lot.
yeah. And that's what you said too. Like, yeah, grab some takeout and bring it to a picnic. That's probably more romantic anyway.
It's probably
Girl
more
probably appreciate
romantic.
that more. Go on a nice little intimate thing in the park, whatever. That's cool.
Yeah.
And you're still supporting the business. You don't have to
Yeah.
wear a mask the whole time.
Hmm.
But at the same time, if you are gonna go out,
You want
into
to
a
go
public place,
out.
wear the fucking mask, man. Like, don't
Yeah.
be like whatever your
I do.
feelings are about the whole thing. Yeah, wear a mask. Like, stop being that guy. Just
Man,
wear it, and then I don't know, just take it off when you get out. But
I don't understand why people just don't. Dude,
it doesn't matter
I
that
don't
you
wear
like.
the.
It doesn't matter what you feel. Just wear it.
I don't wear it in my car, but
No.
I go drop my laundry off. I put my mask on.
Hmm.
Thank you. Go out. Take it off.
Yeah. I
Grocery
mean, is it
store.
annoying? Yeah. Is it the most annoying thing in the world? No,
Yeah.
absolutely not. Like, would I prefer to have a mask on my face? Of course, no one wants to, but just
Yeah.
do it. I don't understand.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people talking about, oh, you're infringing on my personal freedoms, but really, like, listen, this is a great republic here. We're all about freedom, so that
Mhm.
means your freedom can't infringe on my freedom.
Yeah. They're
So
also
that's
not,
the
I
way I
mean,
look
the
at
way
it.
I see it, like, they're not telling me to wear a mask just to, like, make me a monkey. They're
Yeah,
telling me to wear a mask to, like, protect the
other
safety of other
people.
human beings. So,
Listen,
like,
my father is very immune risk.
Mhm.
So, and he lives in Florida,
Mhm.
and it's like that's like a hotbed. It's like I would hope that everybody would wear a mask for people like him.
Right.
You could
Yeah.
be. Listen. I said this from the beginning. I'll probably get sick. According to all the data, all the people, I could get sick. I mean, Ty had it. He talked about it.
Mhm.
He got really sick and got really scared, and then he's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
But that's not going to be the same way
that's not gonna be the
for
case for
someone's mom or kid brother or whatever the case is.
Yeah. And you can't even necessarily rely on those statistics that, like, all right, well then I'll just put it around, put it on around old people because they're more likely to, not come
No, it
out
should
of it or
just be
whatever. No,
everybody.
just do it around everyone, like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
mean, listen. Am I rocking a full mask? No, I got this bandana type thing that I wear.
Yeah, yeah,
But if I sneeze, it's
Yeah.
not going as
Yeah.
far, I guess. But
Yeah.
it's the same thing, dude. I don't know. It just bothers me that whole thing. Like I went to drop my laundry off and like some dude, man, obviously a dude, man. And he
Yeah,
was
it's a
like,
dude,
no
man.
fucks given, no mask
Mhm.
whatsoever, with sunglasses on, didn't give a shit. I was like, all right, man, you do you, I guess.
Yeah. I
like-
think it's funny when they don't, like, when you'll see kids running around without them. Not kids running around, like if they're running around in the park, whatever. But like if they're in the grocery store with their
They don't have
parents or
them.
whatever, they don't. Not only do they not have it on, it's
Mm.
one thing a kid pulls it off because it's annoying them. Like they don't even have masks on their person.
Yeah.
So like it's just a family like shopping, and they're not even telling the kids like, oh, wear a mask around. But it's like
I don't know.
I don't know, if you feel like you don't, I don't know, at least protect your own kids. Like I don't know, if you don't care about anyone else for some reason, don't you want your kid to be protected? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of cultures in the East, India, Asia. I mean, you get sick, you wear a mask.
Yeah.
That's not helping you get better. It's preventing other people from getting sick.
Right. Right.
Now, I'm not saying that we necessarily need to adopt these principles.
Mm.
What I'm saying is there's a large group of people that have proven that you can do it. Right? Yeah. So you get over it, and like, let's just, instead of this being a whole year's worth of bullshit, can we just trim it down to 6 months? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if people are so selfish in this world where it's like, by being selfish and trying to get the wants now met, you're prolonging how long we have to deal with this shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to wear masks at all. I want to go back to just sneezing on each other and licking door handles and shit. You know, it's like, but we can't get there until we actually do what we need to do.
I know. Yeah.
It's weird.
I mean, if it has to become the way of life for a while, like, I don't know, it doesn't destroy my world where I run into a 7-Eleven, throw the mask on, buy my Snapple, come out, and then I take it off. I don't know. It's not the end of the world to me.
That's it.
So,
and I don't know. There's a whole thing we can get into about it because it's
there sure is. It might be dangerous, especially for drinking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's like you continue to spread, and then now you're contributing to hospitals being filled up and emergency workers having to work, and they're at risk, and it's like this whole big circle when it just starts with like a guy like you and me putting this stupid mask on.
I know.
Listen, I went to a party the other night. All right, it was BYOM, which does not stand for bring your own marijuana. Stands for bring your own mask. So it's like, what is BYOM? Like, what the fuck?
As if they're gonna give
some
it out.
people had masks, some people didn't. I wasn't really trying to be right up in people's faces. I kind of, spread out myself. Yeah. But I didn't feel like I needed a mask at any point. So am I helping? Am I hurting? I don't know. But that's kind of, I don't know. I rarely do stuff like that. So, who am I to say? But like, if I'm going to a grocery store, public places.
I just want these businesses also, to survive too. Like, I feel so bad for these. I just think it can be done. I really do. I think it can, like you said, like, would you go to a restaurant or whatever? I don't know. There's so many things that you have to adhere to when you're opening a business, and you have health codes, and you have an inspector that comes in. And so when you have COVID-19 that comes into the situation, you can still stay open, but now you just have new rules that you have to adhere to. So that the health code is still the health code, and there's still the inspector, but the code changed. And now there's more that you have to do. If you have to put up a screen in front of your cash register or whatever, do that or whatever. But so, I think everything just needs to be adjusted. Yeah. And we could still have these businesses be open.
Also, I'm a big fan of natural selection. I don't think.
Are you?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm on a serious note. Like, I mean, who am I to really talk about economics? We'll actually have the owner of VideoGuys.com on August 30th, and he'll be able to really tell us what the deal is economically and business wise. But the way I see it is that, like, how like we bailed out all these like car manufacturers, like all these big ones that were like going under. I think that was a huge mistake. I don't know what the real implications are of it failing, but I've been your TV went off.
So stupid. Whatever.
But it's like, I really think in nature, right? And you can say like in business, like some of these places were kind of doomed to fail. That's why like some places like immediately shut down. They're like, oh, we can't afford it. Well, then you must have had issues before. And like, my thing is like, if there's not enough business coming to you, then that means you're not doing something right. And unfortunately, because I know it's going to hurt people, they have to go away. And then something that can actually fulfill the demand.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I do. Yeah,
someone that's going to go
all the way to make sure it's the right way. I think
that's part of the habitat, right? The economical habitat, local habitat.
Sure.
But some of these places have good business, but they just got screwed because everybody was so scared at first.
Yeah.
But you can kind of see like partners, right? They're like, they did everything they could do and they were getting support. And then they were like, hey, we need help. Boom. Here's all the support.
Yeah.
Not every business is going to get that.
Right. Of course.
So, you know, I'm not an expert by any means, obviously. I'm just a dude of a podcast. But who knows? Like, this might be a good way to shake some of the bad businesses that we had. Maybe it's just time for people to wake up and like, you know, this wasn't really working.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of that. I think that, I mean, I would in no way say, and you know, there's going to be some crazy people that twist my words and say that, oh, he thinks COVID is a good thing. In no way do I think people dying is a good thing. Of course, it's fucking retarded.
No, it's not to take away from people who are suffering or lost ones.
Yeah, but there is a lot of good that comes out in terms of people waking up to different things that need to be done in terms of safety in general that maybe you weren't paying attention to, or you know, just common knowledge of hygiene or whatever, or steps that you need to take to make that, you know, it's kind of sad that people need something like this to wake them up in that regard, to be a normal human being, and you know,
a normal
just be
human
clean,
being, like
but
I said. Yeah, I mean, well, common courtesy,
like, but you know, but
yeah. On that note, maybe we should just play a song, reset the mood away from this gloomy stuff. What do we got?
What do you want to play?
How about The Hold?
I love The Hold. Oh,
yeah,
I love it.
Yeah,
play it, definitely.
Cool, man. I'll see you on what the cool kids say, the flip side.
On the flip side. Cool.
All right, man.
Been around right now.
Wow, dude. Love it. So
I like
epic.
that tune. I always like that tune.
Such an epic, like, you guys just know how to do it, you know?
Thanks, man. I like that. That's a feel-good one. That's and I love seeing that one when we do that at live shows. Because we have our stuff like Reflections, which is really dark and like powerful, and then you keep your head low or whatever, and then you just got something like that, and the whole crowd just dances.
It's so
crazy.
important.
Yeah, I love it.
Important, and you know, part of this whole Pandy experience is like I'm waiting to see what the culture looks like, you know, because at some point people are gonna go back out. We're gonna have new music. You know, so I can't wait to, as soon as you guys are playing,
who comes out of the woodwork.
I'm there because who knows, you know, and pent up energy and stuff. And it's so weird to think about too, like looking back, it's like, oh yeah, remember when we used to hang out and do stuff? Yeah, you know,
do stuff. Yeah,
you know, and like I honestly, like I hang out a lot at the Village Pub and stuff, and I would see all these bands playing. A lot of them I thought were really good. But people weren't really excited to move around too much and stuff. They just kind of hung out. Now you could say it's the crowd, but it's like maybe we just took things for granted.
Yeah, maybe.
Like I don't like to dance, but I'm telling you right now, I'm going to a show and I'm dancing. I don't give a shit what I look like. You know why? Because I just haven't had the opportunity to feel like an asshole. You know, it's like I haven't had that.
And now you will.
And now I will.
Yeah.
You know.
Is that the good one, Village Pub? I remember there's Village Pub, and then there's a place right next to it that's not good, or Village. I don't know.
There's
in Lindenhurst.
Yeah,
good one, there's a not good
it's
one.
like 170. It's like 194 North Wellwood Avenue or something. Yeah, Wellwood Avenue.
A good one.
North...
It's got the little stage. It's risen in the back. That's Village Pub.
So you guys needed to borrow some equipment. So I let you guys borrow my bass and the amp and the pedals.
That was that show. Yeah.
Everything. Yeah. Good times, man.
Yeah, it was a good show.
I danced that night.
What?
I danced that night.
You danced that night? Probably to that song.
Probably.
Yeah. I like that one. And I like, you know what I like too, which was very cool, because we wrote on this album too. We have IGTF, which is kind of like a 50s doo-wop one in 6/8. And it was cool because you had like these crazy rock and roll guys, and they were like throwing their hair around when we would play the heavier stuff like Control. And then we also had that like doo-wop one, and you had people slow dancing like it was like 1950. You know, it was just so cool to see. Like everyone just switched their vibe to whatever we had.
And that's important. You're controlling these people.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know if it's by design or not, but it's good to get a hold of people. You know. Yeah. It is. You're kind of. I like a CTP show because it kind of takes you on a little journey.
Yeah, good. I like that description.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
balance because like some bands are always like bah 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 and like
Mhm.
on you, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to be able to just sit back and kind of sip my beer
Yeah.
or just kind of be with the one I'm with or whatever it is, you
Yeah.
know.
I think
Reset.
that one of the best, one of the times we accomplished that the best was at Beery's, where we really just hit we pulled out, because we don't always do it. Like, we actually base it on who we think the crowd is going to be, and then we could change it when we
a
see
set
what the crowd
list?
will be. Yeah, set list. Like, if we go to like some bar where we know it's a, you know,
If you're going to a biker bar, you're playing more rock songs.
exactly. Yeah. We're not playing the softer stuff. But then it could change over. But I do remember, actually, no, it wasn't Beery's. It was KJ Farrell's or whatever. And we did, we went a little off the cusp, and we went, it was like kind of biker-ish guys there. And then we decided to pull out something like, it was either the Hold or IGTF or whatever, and these big heavy guys, tattoos and long hair or whatever, all of a sudden they started dancing like they were like ramming someone like it was their sweetheart, and they were doing the like 50s doo-wop type
Love
thing.
it. Like
and I was like, it's great.
Because
we actually gave each other a look like,
should we do it?
Should we pull out this kind of song? What do you think these guys are gonna? I think they're gonna do it. And yeah, so it's cool.
Good for you for doing that, sir. I feel like, especially people that look like that, prime target audience.
Yeah.
From my experience, right? Emotional beings.
Emotional. Yeah, you're so right.
I do. I think
they're emotional beings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Cheers, dude. Again, I'm very grateful to have you on, dude. That's the sound. You gotta make the sound. There you go.
Love it. But yeah, man.
I'm a professional virtual drinker now.
You're a virtual drinker.
I know the rules. You have to, you know. Yeah, man. I'm so excited that you came on. It's such a good conversation with you.
Yeah,
you know, I love CTP. Thank you for showing that music video. Is there anything else you could say about this new material coming out, or is it kind of under wraps?
No, I'm trying to think like what to even say about it. The new material. It's just we are in love with it. We are in love with it, and I think, like we were saying before, that is the most important part. And
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's just a lot of it kind of started, and then it kind of started as a dark album, because it was kind of like what the whole world is going through. We were writing kind of like darker songs, but then we also were kind of like, but we also want to bring some levity and some hope a little bit. So we mixed it up a little in that regard, and now we just have this mishmash of just really, really cool stuff. And I think, I'm excited to see where it goes, and I'm excited to see once we have every single song solidified and where we're going to place everything, because that's important too, where you place each song in an album.
Of course. That's difficult.
Yeah. Oof. It is. And I think we hit it right on the first album. But it'll be trickier with this one, because it's a lot of different stuff coming at you. It's a lot of emotion. It's a lot, so it's going to be different.
Now, can we expect the same kind of guerrilla warfare tactics that you did with your first release before you had a full album? Is there going to be cute girls walking around selling $1 tracks that we could buy?
I hope so.
Okay.
I hope so. I mean, if the world opens up, well, yeah.
That's one thing I give you guys credit for. Like, you guys were like on it. You had two people walking around like, hey, $2 you get one track, or $4 you get 4, or whatever it was. Really cool.
That's one of those things too. Like, you got I was talking to Ty about this. Like, you got to pay attention to what people are into. You got to pay attention to what people are listening to, and you got to go with it. You got to be your own band. You got to be your own guys, but you also have to be paying attention. And I think if you're trying to build a band up and you're trying to become something, and you're not paying attention to what's popular, then you're shooting yourself in the foot. Like, why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah.
I remember one of my favorite bands, Muse. Elton John was actually talking about Muse, and he was saying the best thing about them is that they pay attention. They move with the times. They have their style, and they change it based on what's going on in the world and how music is changing, but they still stay true to themselves, and they put their own. It's always going to be Muse. They always sound like Muse, but it's like, oh, dubstep was in this year, so they put a little dubstep in their music, like whatever it is, they adapt. and they just always
That's a good
they
point.
just always hit.
Muse is definitely. I'm not a huge fan, but that doesn't mean that's not a degree of how much I like them. It's just I haven't been exposed.
You just don't know enough of that, yeah.
But I do know from what I've been exposed to. I mean, yeah, they go all over the place in a good way.
And they're staying mainstream, man, and which I think is crazy because if you think about bands, there's not a lot of bands around. It's kind of singer-songwriters that.
Yeah.
I mean, can you even name 3 to 4 bands that are mainstream right now?
Yeah, no, I definitely can't for sure.
You can't, right? There's only a select few, and I think it's important to pay attention to bands like that. I mean, it's like Panic at the Disco, Muse, and I know there's another one.
Is Panic at the Disco still a thing?
They are. Yeah, they're still coming out.
Who is that?
The guy. It's what is his name? Wow, I definitely know him.
Is it who I think it is? Oh no, I'm talking about Blood on the Dance Floor. I took a piss and that guy was in there, man. I'm fucking.
Oh really?
Yeah, I played with. I was twice. I interacted with that guy. I didn't. There's a lot of shit that. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I don't talk. Yeah, whatever. No, but it's not him. It's a different band. Panic at the Disco. That's different.
Yeah.
I know that. I know that. I feel so old.
But you see how you didn't even like realize?
Yeah, because I feel so old. I know that band. I've heard that band before. Yeah.
But it back that, like, if this was 20 years ago, 30 years ago, whatever, this is like, oh, who are the popular bands right now? You could rattle off 10, 20, 30, 40 different bands that were hitting. Now 40. It's like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's now it's like what's a band?
Because you know what it is? It's just easier for the music industry to engineer individuals. But it's also the time of this is the year of individualism. Like this is the time.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. Which I always thought would be a good thing. I don't know if it's a bad thing, but I'm also not in a band, so I don't know.
Well, you were though, so you know.
No, I was, but even then, it was. I don't. Right now, in this particular moment in time, I don't know how I would feel if I was in a project like that. You know, I just don't. To me, I would think it'd make it healthier for there to be singer-songwriters on the top.
Yeah.
Because I would think it'd be individualism, but if it's just people that are in the grips of, these money grubbing people, then it's not, obviously. So I don't really.
But
know.
also right now, I mean, yeah, you're right about also how individualism is key right now, because if you already have a band like me and Ty, before the pandemic, we had a band, so we're obviously going to stick together and we're going to keep writing or whatever. But if you didn't, and you want to start something in the timeline of the pandemic, you're certainly not going to start a band in the pandemic. If anything, you're going to put out solo work because you're going to, on your own time, you're going to work in your own
you're going to start a YouTube channel, you're going to loop pedals, and you're going to do all that stuff. Which is actually
I don't knock at all, by the way. People like to knock that stuff where it's like, oh, you got a solo artist and they're like, they got the isolation and they got the loop pedals or whatever. It's like, okay, they don't have a 50-piece orchestra behind them to. No, they're working with themselves, so let them do their thing. If they can create music on their own using loops and samples,
do people like it?
Do what?
Do people like it?
Yeah.
Is there an audience for
exactly
it?
Right.
So
yes, they do. So what exactly?
There's a guy that my boss was sharing with me, and he streamed every day, and he went from like a handful of people to a ton of people. Like he did 100 streams in a row, and it was like a huge deal. He had tons of people. It was really cool. And he did a lot of pre-programmed looping stuff. They would kick in stuff, but you know what? It takes a lot of skill.
It does.
To fill in all that audio, and like I imagine he's the one that's building it all. It's not like, it's not like someone's coming in doing it and they're like, okay, now you can just hit play.
Yeah. No, you still have to.
Yeah. It takes a whole different brain. I think a lot of people don't like things sometimes, man, because they can't conceive how to do it, and it bothers them.
And they just want something to hate also, which is annoying. But so it's,
I don't know.
It's an annoying, unhealthy combination of both.
I would like to say I've never been that way. I'm sure I've been that way with certain things, but like I'm not actively the type to do that.
That also changes too, and it probably changed when you started playing music too. I mean, whatever your feelings were about musicians at the time, like if there would be someone that you would not be like, oh, that sounds like that other song they wrote, or like, oh, I can't believe they're doing this at this part. But I was never that way anyway. But if I had any hint of that at all, it was kind of erased when I started making music, because you have such a different appreciation for the songwriting process, and you just understand what it takes to be able to write something. So even if someone writes a song on their own and you don't really care for it, yeah, but you know what went into it. You know what they
Blood,
had to
sweat,
do to
and
make that
tears.
song. Huh?
Blood, sweat, and tears. I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
it's to me, yeah. To me now, I know anything you do, and I've always said this, like, being in a band, being creative helped me in my my career. Like, I don't know how to say it, and just what I do for a living. That's not a creative. You know what I'm saying? That's helped me in my relationships with my family. It's helped me in relation. You know what I mean? Like, to me, nothing is like segregated. It's just different avenues to learn different things about yourself. So
all connected.
Yeah. So at this point, it's like being on tour, going around, seeing all the different states, meeting all the different cultures and stuff. It translates how I talk to people or how I adapt on how different people are, or managing money or doing whatever it happens to be. It all contributes together, you know?
Yeah.
So
it does.
For me, my experience is definitely different than probably most people's experience, you know, or like, like how we talked about, like, not being in the creative bubble, you know? But yeah, I think it's very easy for people that aren't in the space to criticize. Which is their right. It is their right to do so, but I would wish people would come at it more tactfully.
Right, and as a songwriter, if you will, I welcome the criticism. Like you said, as long as you come at it in a way that's not aggressive or whatever. I welcome the criticism because I need to know. Because you know, one of the things my dad always said, he was like, when he would make coffee, he would be like, tell me if it's a shitty cup of coffee, because if you don't tell me, I'm going to make it that way again. And you're just going to all be quiet about it. And you're just going to have bad coffee for the rest of your life. So if you don't tell me that it's bad, I'm not going to make a better cup. So I welcome that criticism because I need to know what people like. And, of course, there's also going to be, if you're really in love with what you're doing and you don't want to take that criticism, or you don't want to veer off based on that criticism, okay, then you keep doing your thing, but you got to welcome it. You got to have that.
You know what? Trademark that, man. Chris said it here. We're all just trying to make a good cup of coffee. So
that's it, man.
So tell him if it's not good so we can make it better. Seriously, I love that.
You got to know. You got to know.
So you've had support from your family, I guess, for your musical endeavors?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Same here. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Not everybody gets that.
Yeah.
My father became a big fan of what I was doing, painting his nails black, all sorts of stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was really honorary member of Knox Cult. He's like the fourth member we never had.
Yeah. Yeah, we all we had supportive families in that regard for sure. Yeah.
That's good.
They were big into it.
Did I meet your family or Ty's family?
Probably both.
Okay, maybe a mix. It's hard to tell in a bar sometimes, and like you don't want to like overstay your welcome too much. So you're like, hey, how you doing? Oh, cool. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna fuck off over here. Okay, you do that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know.
It's cool.
But yeah, you probably met them at some point. Definitely. I mean, Tyler's definitely. They would have made their presence known. I think Tyler's parents for sure. If they.
Yeah. Well, it's always good to see, man. It's good to see family members supporting because not a lot of people understand it to begin with. Even if they don't understand it and they still support, how cool is that?
Yeah. I love seeing too that we talk about this all the time, Ty and I, with fans. Like who's a true fan, and who's just someone like when you go to anyone that's has some kind of leg in a creative world, if they're putting on some kind of show or whatever.
Yeah.
You always go support them, but when someone's just there because they're your friend and they want to support you, but they're not really into it, but they're going to be there anyway.
It's always been a weird thing for me.
What's that?
That's always been a weird thing for me.
What if they support and they're not into it?
If a friend comes that's not really into it, but they're just doing it because they're a friend, I get into this thing where I feel like maybe I need to cater to them a little bit, and I don't like that side of me. Where it's like,
I got you.
It's like, oh, are you comfortable? It's like, can I get you something? Let me buy you a beer. It's like, fuck that. They came, they're there. Right?
Yeah.
But not to cut you off, sorry.
Is the mosh pit too much for you?
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, I did a lot heavier stuff, so yeah.
But yeah, no, but then you get the people that I mean, I remember the first time that we played a gig and we had recurring fans that weren't friends of ours. Like obviously your friends are always going to come to your shows. They're there because they're your friends, so you don't really know how much they're into the music or if they're just there.
It's hard to tell,
support you.
yeah.
But we had some recurring fans that you know, they knew the music. They came because they heard Cue the Pilot was playing. They didn't know either of us personally or any of us personally.
They knew Cue the Pilot.
They knew Cue the Pilot, and
That's awesome.
I remember when we looked into the crowd. It was a bar, but whatever, you know.
That's a crowd.
Yeah,
Elton John, Billy Joel,
and
they all did the bars.
It's true. But I remember we were just looking and people were singing. They were singing their lungs out,
cool.
and they knew all the lyrics to all our tunes. And they were just like, "Oh!" And someone yelled out like, "Oh, play your move!" Like they knew.
Yeah, how cool is that?
Yeah, you know, on some small scale, it's exactly. You started, didn't you start that?
Pilot. Yeah,
you started that, right? That became huge, man.
And
even like when you weren't at a show, someone would do it, and then it would become a thing.
That's it.
I love that. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, it's always interesting when people. I mean, we had these two. I think they were Polish. They English was a second language to them, but they would come out to like every Knox Cult show they could. To the point where it was like we were just like, "Hey, do you want a shirt?" Like, because they've bought so much shit. It was like, "Hey, just take a shirt.
Just take one." Yeah.
They were always up front, rocking out right where I was, you know, and screaming and shit, put the microphone to them, and it got to the point where it was like, yeah, they were like #1 fans, so like we gave them stuff to listen to that wasn't released to get their opinion.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
that's
like
cool.
It's to that point. Yeah. So it's cool when like people are really into it, because like fans and family, you know, it's this weird thing of like, yeah, of course they like it, of course they support it, but like I really need someone to tell me this is shit. If it's shit, you know.
And most people don't, especially if they're your friends, they will not tell you. And it's hard, and I don't even give them shit about it because it's not like I'm good at it. It's not like if someone like does a show and they come up to me after, "Oh, how'd you like it?" It is hard to be like,
I gotta be honest,
sucks, but you know, but you do have to. Yeah, it's a hard thing to do.
Well, I'm the worst person because
you are so honest,
bro. I especially there. I'll never forget it. There was this guy that was like an older guy that did punk music, and we were playing. They like opened for us, and he knew about us, and like he was just like talking our ear off and stuff. And he was like, "I really want to know what you think." He went up and played. He was having like amp issues, and it just wasn't whatever.
Wasn't vibing, yeah.
Yeah, and he came off all excited and asked me how it was, and I was like, "Well, your amp was all messed up, and I didn't really like the way this sounded and stuff." And he was just. It was just like, and I'll never forget that. So like, don't ask me. I don't know, like, because he asked, he really wanted my real opinion. So like, I'll give you my real opinion.
Good, and give your real opinion. And we also had people that well, we didn't have people. We had one person that it was just a weird response. We had a show, and we were like, "Oh, what'd you think?" And he goes, "Well, I liked most of it." I was like, what does that even mean? Like, and it was just, and the reason that like it was an annoying comment to receive was because he was the type of person to want to be negative just to be negative. And like, if you have, like you said, like you gave reasons why you didn't like it and why things didn't work, and it was a very honest opinion, and it wasn't like you were just like,
well, he asked for it.
I don't like it, you know. It's like, you're right, yeah, and he asked for it too, but. So, like, give me reasons. I want to know why you didn't like it. Because if you really did like it, but you just feel the need to say you didn't like it just because you have to be that guy, then, like, don't do that. But
yeah, no, it's not to be a dick to be a dick.
Yeah.
Listen, I've had both. I've had people that just didn't like it, and that's fine. But I also had people, like, we played somewhere in Lyndhurst. I forget, it was like St. Clair's. It's a bar. Barely had a PA system there and stuff, but I mean, like, we made like $400 in merch alone, and I had one guy that paid to get in and then went and paid again once we started playing.
Really?
And he was like, "These people do not deserve to be here. They should be playing like in arenas." Listen, I'm not saying that's really where we should have been, but that's what this person said. So it's like,
cool though.
Yeah,
and they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna say that just to say it. Like,
it's the money.
Obviously, that.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, money talks though, right?
Yeah.
You're not full of shit if you're paying twice.
Yeah. So and I think you'll get, the difference between, the courtesy or the pity, whatever. It's what'd you think? Oh, it's good. if you get that like, oh, it was good.
It's like,
I
oh,
liked
that's
it.
crazy, man.
Yeah,
when
but
people are
like I
telling
don't think people
stories.
are going out of their way to say something like these people shouldn't be here. They should be playing in arenas like that.
Mm,
I think they mean that. I
I think
think they
so.
really feel
I hope
that way
so.
if they're saying something like that.
Yeah.
So more power to
Yeah.
you guys. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and I mean, like, we've got compliments. A lot. We got a lot of, like, I guess my point is we got a lot of compliments. Our first show, people are like, "You're not from around here, right? Like, you're touring or whatever."
Mhm.
It was like your merch. Like, nope, this is our first show, you know. And it was like we just came presentable.
Mhm.
So I've had a lot of compliments, but it's hard. Sometimes it's hard. It's hard to tell.
It is. Yeah.
Do you mean it or not mean it?
Yeah.
Are you doing it politically or are you doing
Mhm.
it? You know, it's,
I know. Yeah. There's so much into it. There's so much involved.
Yeah, like even now, listen, I've had people criticize things, and I'm very open. People are very close to me.
Mhm.
Like, hey, I really want to talk to you about something, right?
Mm.
And like some of it was like learning how to be a host is very difficult. It might not seem like it,
Mhm.
but like it's difficult to sit here and listen to a story and have all these questions in your head, not ask every single question.
Mhm.
Because I feel there's a pressure to get all this information out of you.
Mhm.
But I've learned, because people have said, I think you need to just let the people finish what they're saying. So
Mm.
it's like I've been working really hard on that, but I think it's made for a better show. So I'm
Well,
very
that's good to have that
happy
feedback then. Yeah.
that there was criticism there, you know?
Mhm. Yeah. Cool.
Like, do you think a guy like Prince accepted a lot of criticism, or do you think he just...
It's wow.
See, that's the
funny
other...
that you mentioned Prince specifically.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Is that an idol of yours?
No, not
Oh.
not at all. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with him, but
He was just a guy that could talk the talk and walk the walk,
yeah.
you know? So do you think he took criticism well? I mean, I don't know. None of us are going to really know.
No, none of it. But I don't know why that was such an interesting person that you picked. But did Prince? I don't.
Well, same thing with MJ. I mean, like, he knew every single note to everything. You know, did you watch the documentary he did before he died?
The This Is It thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know when
Dude.
like the guy was playing and he was like, "Hold on, can you just stop for a second? Hold on,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think you're playing a G. You're supposed to be an E or something. You know,
Yeah, he
like
did
you're
know.
just off a little bit. You know." But I mean, there's like 30 instruments going. He stopped the whole thing to say,
Yeah.
"I think you're playing one note wrong." To like one.
Michael Jackson, man, I could. Jesus Christ, he's just. I mean, he's just as good as it gets. He really
Right.
is just as good as it gets. And to see something like that too, where shown behind the scenes, where he knows that much about what's going on, and
Crazy.
he really did, and that's why his stuff was perfect. And I think it was. I think his music was perfect,
Yeah.
and it was a brand new genre. Like you could say there are elements of different genres in his music, but Michael Jackson's music was one of a kind. It was his own thing, and he just reinvented. Oh, so good, so good.
Yeah, I mean,
Out of control. Out of
the thing
control.
about guys like Prince, guys like him, I mean, they really knew all the instruments,
Mhm.
and like then you had to really be a talent.
Mhm.
You weren't, because there was 1,000 people that were doing the same thing you were doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but there was no internet. There was nothing. It was the people that are making decisions got your eyes and ears on you for 5 seconds, and it's either you do it or you don't.
Mhm.
Which is different now, where it's like you kind of are doing all the work for them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. Yeah.
You know, they can sit back in their office and watch this shit and be like, yeah, no, yes, no, yes, you know, before they even meet you.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah. But I think that's so cool, man. That Mike. I don't know, the fact that he was able to pick out like
That blew my mind.
That it's crazy to me. And he wasn't just being a clown like Frank Sinatra. You know, Frank Sinatra would just like yell at people for no reason.
Really?
Like you didn't even know if he was like
Being serious or not?
if he was sober or if he was just yelling to yell. It wasn't like you didn't take it seriously in the way that like when Michael Jackson is like, oh, I think that's a wrong note there or whatever. It was like he would just yell.
Because the dude's sweating. He's dancing. There's people popping up from like the stage. It's like a real show, like the rehearsal. And to stop that, to be like, hey, I think you're playing the wrong key. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Now, do you? Because I think I try to put my I always try to identify with stuff. It's like, if I ever got that big, do you think that's where I'd be at? Where I'm like, hey, I think you're playing the wrong note, or do you think you're not even noticed? Like, you have to be. I mean, you're dancing.
That could go so many different ways. But it also, I think, plays into the fact that he cares that much.
Mhm.
Where I think like maybe someone like I don't even want to. I'm just gonna give an example, but there's no reason I'm giving this example. Like someone like Justin Bieber, who
Mhm.
it's just different now. Like I actually think Justin Bieber's great, but like he might be at the point where I don't know, the way the industry is now, maybe he doesn't care as much, so he's not really paying attention. It's not about maybe the music for him, and it's
Mm.
not about making sure everything's right so that he can, really take his craft seriously. Again, I'm just using him as an example. I don't
Yeah.
even mean that, but like I think when you take someone like Michael Jackson and as famous as he was and as much money as he had or whatever, I think he still was calling that guy out because he wanted it to be right, and that's
Yeah,
all.
I
Like
don't think he
just,
was being a dick. I
no,
think he
not
was
at all.
just
I think
protecting his craft.
so. I think it's cool to see that like he still cared so much about the music, and it wasn't like he let everything else on his plate kind of
Yeah.
get ahead. He was still like, oh well, I want that F sharp to be right,
Right,
because like
whatever
that's
it
my
was,
that's my
yeah.
music. Like he loves
Now
his
imagine
music.
being that guy.
Yeah, oh my god, the guy that actually messed up.
He's like, oh fuck, dude, I've been messing that up all weekend. I really
Oh,
thought I cleaned it up.
Yeah, they probably went to the bar after all the musicians, and they were like, "Dad, remember when
Dude.
you played the wrong note in Billie Jean?" They
Right.
probably waked up and
Yeah,
wrote it down.
yeah.
Yeah.
Probably like, dude, you fucked up. Michael Jackson called you out, dude.
He probably still gets shit for it, honestly,
Maybe.
like from his friends. Yeah.
Or,
I would definitely give my friend shit
hey,
if that
are
was
you
him in
the
the room.
guy that played with Michael Jackson, like, and he
Or
knows you
that.
personally, and you guys worked together on that song and changed the note? That's how I would spin it, but you know.
If I was that guy, that's how I'd say. Like,
Yeah,
if
I'd be
I was
like,
getting shit for
well,
it, I'd
we're
be like,
that
yeah, but also,
close.
did you play with Michael Jackson?
Right.
It doesn't seem like it.
I'm actually that close to him where we actually had that
Where
rapport.
it was more of a creative discussion than it was.
Yeah, I don't know how
mistake.
you saw it, but we do it all the time.
Yeah, we do it all the time.
So like,
Sometimes
hey,
I tell him when he sings the wrong
I'm
note.
like, hey MJ, I think it's left, right, left.
Yep.
Hey MJ. Yeah.
Oh.
How about another song, man? Because it's been 2 hours. I'm not cutting it close. I'm not saying we have to stop. I think it'd be a good idea maybe play a song.
Yeah.
Did we do Control yet?
Huh?
We didn't do Control yet, right?
I like Control. Do Control.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll see you on. I'm trying to think of new ways to say it. I'll just see you when it's done, dude. All right, later. Love it. Nice short one. That's a good one.
Yo, I love our album, man. I don't even care. I'm just gonna say it. I think it's so cool, and I think I love that you played She and Control, because you hear like the different ways that Ty can sing, which I think is so cool. He's got that really, really heavy, growly, grungy shit, and then like on Control, and then on She, he's just got that light, buttery sound.
Keep your head low.
Keep your head low too. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to play that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's definitely. I mean, listen. Let's not. Don't cut yourself short, man. Everybody's very versatile in the band, in the project. You know, from your playing and the way you sing. How do you hit those high notes, dude?
I mess around. I don't know. I really do. Like, I mean, I try shit out. Like, that's just since I've been singing, I just try different shit out, and whatever works, whatever is, healthy.
Is it a chest thing? Like, how do you do it? What? You seem so comfortable doing it. That's the real thing.
What?
You seem very comfortable doing it.
Yeah, well, that's always one of the things too. Like coming from, a music school or whatever. I always tried to everything that I did. I always tried to make it healthy, and I tried to make sure it was, it was sustainable and it had some longevity to it, because I didn't want to be able to do something this year and then by next year, all of a sudden my voice is blown out from it and I can't do it anymore. So I wanted to make sure that whatever I was doing, had longevity to it. So, but I would try shit out. And what I say all the time too, you could tell someone all the proper techniques and everything to sing, and all the tools and everything too. But I do think one of the most important things you could do is listen to the people you idolize. Right. Listen, if you're a singer and you're listening to Whitney Houston and you want to sing like Whitney Houston, yeah, listen to that. Like if you're gonna try to emulate something,
that's the word. Yeah. Now I gotta tell you, I've had we had Ty on, we had Chris Yee. I think me and Brent Hertz talked about it, but there's been so many musicians and actual artists that have been on the show, and it's always been about emulating what you want from different people until it becomes part of you, and then you kind of take away and make your own thing. And I know, I don't know if I forget who it was. I don't know if it was Biggie or some. Man, I don't know who. Maybe Jay-Z was talking about it, and he was talking about maybe it's not just about the people that you admire. Find out who those people admired and who those people admired.
Oh, and that's one of the that's one of the most interesting things too. You ever listen to an interview with one of your favorite artists, and then they talk about who influenced them, and it turns out to be one of your other favorite artists?
Right.
Like, I mean, oh my God, that's one of the coolest things. And like, it could be from totally different worlds too. It could be different. Like, I mean, the one that I've found a lot, which it is just so cool to me because he's my favorite, Jeff Buckley. The amount of people from all genres of music that are like, Jeff Buckley, man, one of my biggest influences. And I'm just like, holy shit. Like, people you would never think would have. Well, I mean, Chris Cornell was like it was, Jeff Buckley was his favorite. They were best friends. Right. Crazy.
Well, when I was like Cat Stevens and Jack Johnson.
Oh, were they?
You were like, no, but you were like, oh, I would never have guessed that.
Oh yeah, right. Exactly.
It's like, well, because influence comes in different, shapes and sizes. What I did want to do is give a little shout out to the people in the chat. Yeah, if that's all right. Gary Batan, thank you very much for watching. We'll have you on the show August 30th. Very excited for that, guys. It's gonna be really cool. Cynthia, thank you for watching. John K, hey man, you've been checking out a couple shows. I appreciate you tuning in. Brent Hertz and Chris Yee, both members of Megahertz. We've done live charity events sponsored by videoguys.com. We've had them on the show at different times. Cool people. Thank you for checking it out. Lee Ludini, we've been doing Lamp together. Lee and Me podcast. We're going to be releasing our first episode soon. Gio, thank you for checking it out. We got Ty. I mean, we talked enough about Ty. That's it. Ty, thank you for posting a link to the dancer's Instagram. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Aaron Martin, you've also been tuning in. We've noticed you. Thank you so much for checking us out. We really appreciate it. Sal's, thank you for tuning in. You've helped us on the show plenty of times. She says, I love this song. Your voice is very unique, Christopher. I'm guessing she's talking about the show we just played.
Control Me?
The song we before that. Sorry.
Oh.
She?
Cool. That wasn't me, but I wasn't on
it was somebody.
It must have been Control, I guess.
I don't know. Unfortunately, when we go back and read things, it's so hard to to go
But thank
through.
you. Either way.
There you go. She's a huge fan of you guys.
Cool.
So she might be talking about a whole different thing I don't even know.
Yeah.
Pascal, hey, happy birthday. Thanks for having me over the other night. It was a good party. Thank you for checking out the show. Chris Yee says, I like it. Ever see Victor Wooten with a loop pedal? You ever see Victor Wooten with a loop pedal?
No.
Shit's cool, man.
Yeah.
You know Victor Wooten, right?
You're asking me? Yeah. Have I seen him with a loop pedal?
Yeah. I don't know any particular videos, but I've definitely seen him play with himself with just like a pedal, man. It's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Let's see. What a nice last name, Russo. Patricia Russo.
Oh yeah.
Please play Jungle Gym, which we will.
Okay. All right.
We will. We'll play it as the outro. So if you guys want to stick around, it's been hyped up now. People are requesting in the chat. I mean, the people want it. We'll play it at the end. So stick around.
You know, I do have to plug though. What I do love about Jungle Gym, the only reason I like roll my eyes about Jungle Gym, the only reason is because of listeners. I'm afraid when a song doesn't have vocals and when it's just a jam, I just worry about it. I love it, and Ty loves it.
I think Ty said
I just worry if people will be interested if it's a jam. But that's actually my brother is playing the sax solo on that.
Oh, very cool.
Which is really cool. Yeah,
we'll have to check it out.
He's awesome. Yeah.
I actually had to bring something up, sir, because I know with Ty, I mentioned I was encouraging to the fact that he needs to have a second jam on the album.
See, because you're a musician, though,
and that
you want to jam.
It should be a shout out to me. Okay, we talked about this shit. Go back and watch. All right, I think
I know. I do remember you talking about it. Yeah.
So I'll be looking
Jams are
for
dangerous.
it.
They're dangerous,
dude.
But It's because I'm becoming too like I don't know, maybe
lose
too aware of what people want or whatever. But
Who cares what
I
people
love a
want?
good jam.
No.
I love a good jam. I do.
So jam. It's your album. People can
True.
skip it. That's why. That was my
They
thing with him.
They could skip it.
Skip
That's
it.
fine. Yeah.
Or don't
But that-
download
I
it.
mean-
I don't know
I
what do
mean,
people
it's a
do
good-
now.
It's a good point too, because like one of the things we said in the beginning of this, one of the things I love about our band is that we do have something for everyone,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
but not everything is for everyone.
And
So
that's
that
totally
could be
fine.
one of the ones that the John Denver fans skip, but then they like the other. You know what I mean? So
Well,
yeah,
John Denver
I mean,
fans would probably like a nice jam.
actually they probably would.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's just finish this real quick. Okay, so we have. Oh, Sal just said Control. So she was talking about Control. I agree. I also liked. I forget what song I put in the little promo video, but there's a nice section with just keyboards. This is the one I was talking about before, where you did the crazy keyboard.
Oh, the
intro.
hold in the hold.
Probably right. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you're like singing on it. I love it. Oh my God, there's so many things now. I can't. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to keep up. Ty says Father Russo Brew House Blend for the coffee.
Oh, Brewhouse.
That's cool.
Nice.
Sal says MJ of a Heart. Partizza says play Jungle Gym. We already did that one. And
All right. Well, people like Jungle Gym. All right.
and
Okay,
we'll have
so-
to play. We'll play on the outro. Now,
All right.
something that I love saying, it throws people off. I don't know. You ever watch Hell on Wheels?
I've watched it twice.
Mm-hmm.
Never really.
There's
But
a
why?
scene.
What were you gonna say?
Well, there's a scene where this like new railroad sheriff, sound like my mother right now. Sheriff is whatever, teaching the younger kid, whatever. And he's basically like, here's some coffee, right? And he drinks the coffee or whatever. He's like, no, my grandpappy taught me how to make it, and he made it, from a sock. And he said, like, the older the sock is, the better the taste. So now anytime anybody talks about coffee, I say that to them.
That's hilarious.
I don't know what it is, but I just like saying, like, yeah, my grandfather taught me how to make coffee, but he used his old sock. And they're like, what the fuck?
That's awesome.
All right, so I don't know.
Can you hear me from here, by the way? If I got into a little more relaxed position,
You should
am
be
I too
relaxed.
far away, or am
I think you're fine. We'll let the people vote. Everybody at home, please let us know if you can hear him.
Far away.
I want you to be relaxed, man, for sure.
Oh, this is very relaxing.
There you go. You might have to
What were you
speak
gonna
up a
say?
little bit, but
Okay.
fuck, was it? Oh, okay. So I don't know about too many music videos from the first album. So is this little promo that you showed us earlier a sign of what's to come? Are we gonna get a couple music videos?
We actually didn't have any. We didn't have any music videos from the first album. I think you're probably gonna see whether it's in that song or not. I think you're probably gonna see more of those dancers. I would say in some setting, one way or another, you're definitely gonna see something.
You think story driven? Maybe we'll get a compilation of videos that aren't. Maybe if you put them together, it'd be the same. Maybe there's a story. Maybe there's
yeah. Maybe might have a little compilation thing going on.
Very cool.
Which is always cool. Very old school.
I love stuff like that.
Yeah. But any opportunity you have to use brilliant creators in their craft, I mean, just take advantage, because
not everybody gets the tap straight from the tap. They get watered down products. So very cool.
Those girls are insane. They're ridiculous. So I mean, the fact that I know them and got to put something together with them is so cool.
That's why you don't burn bridges.
Yeah, no.
I always try to keep professional relationships or any relationships going, because you never know when you might need something from somebody.
Yeah.
Now, something that I wanted to ask you, and we can kind of go back a little bit. We're talking about you hitting the high notes and stuff. I know there's a weight bench behind you. Now, is this something you do for your vocals, or is it just a body, mind, and soul thing like I do?
No, it has nothing to do with vocals. It's just
okay, because some people are religious about it for their vocals.
Really?
Working out their chest and stuff, yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. It does.
Yeah.
But no,
it's just something you do for your health.
Just
okay.
Yeah, just working out.
That's cool. I want to get weights so bad, dude.
You know what you got to get? You got to get hold on. Hang tight.
Okay. There we go. We're on a mission here. What we got? Yeah, that's what I want.
Do you know about this?
Dude, that's exactly what I mean, I don't know exactly, but you can you change it out.
Yeah,
I don't know about Bowflex, but
you don't have to have a huge wall of different weights and switching them out. You
Dude,
literally have
that's
this
what I
and you
want.
click it to a new weight, and then that's it.
Wow,
yeah,
that's
it's
so
the
funny.
best. They're
It's so
expensive,
funny you
but
pull that
it's
out.
worth
It's
it.
like $300 or something, right?
Yeah, it's expensive, but
For
I mean,
do you get one or two?
you get two.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
I want
you
to.
could. Yeah, you can get
It's
them in
so
a package.
funny though. I was looking at those because a coworker of mine has them.
Gotta get them. It's well worth the money. Well worth the money.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I only got so much room. I already took up half my house with all the studio shit, so
That's why it's great because it's just 2 dumbbells,
Yeah.
and that's all the room it takes up. But you have
Listen.
between 5 pounds and 50 pounds. So
I had a national. I don't know if you caught it. We had Al Trapiano on. He was a national qualifying bodybuilder.
okay.
And that dude's ripped, right? I'm
Yeah.
never getting that big, so I might just be able to get away with a dumbbell that goes from like 0 to 60 or whatever the hell it is, and doing body weights and stuff. You know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I don't need a whole gym. That's the thing. You go to the gym at all? Were you a gym guy?
I was until I just kind of started doing everything at home because just
Yeah.
time
Well-
allotted for it. And now obviously gyms are closed, but
Yeah.
you know, I just have been figuring out so many different ways to do it at home, and
Yeah.
I follow a specific trainer on YouTube, and he
There it
makes video.
is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it.
You'll have to
videos are
send me
huge.
a link because I
will.
need a good.
Yeah. Absolutely,
something
yeah.
to
And it's
follow.
very regimented. It's very planned out because the one of the things with working out is if you're not being guided and you're just kind of and you don't really know anything about it, you could just be I'm picking up a thing and putting it down and
It's not
whatever.
as
But like when you
beneficial as
have
think.
when you have someone to guide you, it's so good. And there's a time stamp on it or whatever. You know, it could be a 7-minute bicep workout or whatever, and they
Yeah.
guide you through the whole thing. So it's shorter, but you're actually doing the right thing as opposed to spending a half an hour doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
You're spending 7 minutes doing the exact right thing. So
Yeah,
I'll send you the links. Yeah.
Yeah, please, dude, because
Mhm.
you know, I got to talk to Al a little bit about it. I mean, that's a
Mhm.
great source, and some people that helped me like kind of plan stuff out. But like right now, what I'm doing is I kind of fell off because I got too busy. There's my
Mhm.
quotations again. I just been coming home and like just nailing like a 20-30 minute like make me sweat and out of breath workout.
Mm-hmm.
So like 50 sit-ups, start off with 20
Yeah.
push-ups, and I'm doing pull-ups and lunges and these kicks. And I just keep repeating that until I can't do it anymore for like 20 minutes.
That's good, man. That's good.
Yeah, but
yeah.
It's not where I was though, because where I was at, I had such a strict diet, and I was like very regimented
Mhm.
on like doing sets and stuff. So I got to
Mhm.
get back to that. But I mean, I just don't like the little stomach. That's all I care about. I just want to be a little bit
Then I
flatter.
have the workout for you. I do.
Cool,
I have,
man. I'm
it's one of my
excited.
favorite workouts. It's a 7-minute ab workout.
Mhm.
It's brutal. It's intense.
Let's do it.
Yeah, but it's 7 minutes,
Mhm.
and that's the thing too. Like when you do a short workout like that, and it's so intense, and it's very hard, and you will sweat after.
Mhm.
But you're not there for a half hour, an hour
Yeah.
working on something, and just like it just gets in your head, and you don't want to do it anymore. But when you have that short regimented video, you're just like, I got to get to it. I got to get to the end of it. It's only 7 minutes. Remind yourself it's only
Right.
7 minutes, and you just do it, and it works so well.
Have you always been health conscious?
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
Not always consistent in terms of the diet. I've always worked out, but like anyone else, you get into bad habits with eating and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
eating at
Especially
11
if you're
o'clock at night.
if you're busy or whatever, and you're coming home
Yeah.
from something and it's 11, you just drive through a McDonald's or whatever.
Sure.
But I definitely try to be as conscious about it as I can.
Yeah,
but-
no, that's important, right?
It is people talk about it, you joke about it. It's a lifestyle, man, lifestyle. But like it is.
But it is,
It
though.
is. Like if you're gonna meal prep and you're gonna have your workouts and whatever, it is a lifestyle. It's not something
Mm.
you could just like throw together tomorrow and be like, oh, I'm gonna be a healthy guy tomorrow. And it's like, no, you got to do it the right way.
Well, even eating healthy, your body kind of like rejects it almost at first.
Yeah, it will.
It's very hard to do it,
Mhm.
and then eventually you get used to it. And now then I actually experienced the opposite, where I started eating other stuff, and I was like
Mhm.
getting sick.
Oh,
It was
really?
like, wow. Well, I was actually sick, but like I couldn't eat. So then when I started eating again, I was like, fuck it. I lost so much weight.
Mhm.
You know, like I was 170, and then I worked out for like a month. I did like some really hardcore shit, and dieted and got down to $150, and then I went to 145 because I was sick for like 3 days. I lost like 5 pounds.
Oh wow.
I was just sick. So then I was
That's one
trying
way to do it.
yeah, right. And so I was just trying to eat whatever I could, and it was just like all this stuff was just making me worse.
Yeah.
Because my body was so used to having just whole food, like
Right. Yeah.
So
People also think though that I mean, quantity is not always a bad thing. I mean, it's just about what you're eating
putting in,
and about like how much you're combining with the proper exercise, because people are like, oh, I can't eat bread, or I can't eat like whatever pasta or whatever, and it's like you don't necessarily have to eat like a tiny salad once a day and that's all you eat, or like a little thing of cottage cheese. That's not how you have to do it. It could work that way, but
well, everybody's different.
Right, everybody's different. But if you're combining the right amount, you could have your pizza, you could have your pasta, whatever, but you just got to do it the right way.
I eat a ton of chicken, a ton of protein.
Yeah, chicken's the best thing. Yeah,
because it's lean. But I also have burgers and pizza and stuff. I just try to limit it. But I also eat multiple times throughout the day. It's just the way you're supposed to do it. I've seen results. Every time I work out, protein shake with skim milk.
Because the recovery is
for
better, right,
for my rest day, so that the muscle can repair itself.
That is very, very important. I didn't do it that way at first, and sometimes I still don't. Like I don't have the protein right after, and you can see the difference. The next day if you go to do arms again or whatever, and you didn't have that protein after, you're like, it's just like jelly. You can't even lift a fucking iPod. You know what I mean?
Rest is so important.
You need that protein after.
Yeah. So I've been doing 2 and 0, like so 2 days then not like rest, and then 3 days and rest. So that way it also changes throughout throughout the week. So it's like every Monday it's not the same thing. Maybe Monday turns into a rest day.
Yeah.
And then whenever it comes to Sunday, I usually say fuck it, because I usually drink a couple beers, I do the show, and I just order.
But that's allowed.
I order
to be able
burger.
to have a cheat day, like whatever.
Oh yeah, wings.
I didn't work out today. Wings.
Wings, dude, I'm such a fan of wings. We're trying to do a Hot Ones. You ever watch Hot Ones?
I love Hot Ones. Are you trying to do something like that?
Well, do I ever sound like Sean Evans and how I'm moving my hands around?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit, right?
Would you actually do that?
Oh, well,
me
and my brother over here for Lamp, we would actually trying to get him up, but then the panty happened. And actually, one of our guests and creators for the art that's coming out soon, Chris Yee, who's been in the chat, actually, thank you for sticking around. He actually has a whole hot sauce collection, and he said he would be down to do it. So it might be 3 of us doing it, from 1,000 Scovilles to 1,000,000. You too?
Spicy food, spicy food. Dude, the spicier the better. 100% in.
Yeah.
But it's funny actually. It's got to be good spicy. I was talking to a friend about this the other day.
Taste.
And one of the spicy foods that I don't care for is buffalo sauce, like buffalo wings or buffalo chicken, whatever. I just think it's a gross tasting sauce. I don't know, that's just me, but hot sauce in general, like the hotter the better. Do you like Indian food?
Yeah, like curries and stuff.
Not a lot of people do.
Yeah, why not? I like it.
I love Indian food. Yeah.
There's a really nice in Lindenhurst, there's a place I lived there, so I used to order from there. But it was like a nice creamy with peas and just like a chicken sauce. Really spicy.
You like Thai food?
Oh yeah, dude, I was in Thailand, and it was so fresh. And everywhere, even the airports would have this 3. It's like a standard for just 3 of them. You know how we have salt and pepper? They have a jar of peppers and shit, and all the mustard seeds or whatever the fuck it. Yeah,
I put all of that on, just everything.
Yeah, I like a mature heat. I don't like a stupid retarded heat. But,
cheap, $5 bottle of some sauce that makes it hot. It's that does nothing for me. It doesn't even taste good. There's
a Cholula sauce I have here, a sweet habanero, that I actually like for breakfast. But I don't really have any of the sauces. My brother actually bought a 4-pack of the Hot One sauce.
Oh yeah.
So he has most of it. Dude, I want to do it. I think it'd be fun.
I want to do it.
And we'll just you're invited. We'll just do a hashtag Hot Ones challenge, so we don't get sued or anything. But
yeah,
I think it'd be fun. What I was thinking is we'd all eat the first wing, which is sriracha or whatever, and then we just go around and do maybe have never have I ever, or like, and then we'll do like fun fact or like truth or dare or something, you know? And then we'll just get closer and closer to heat.
I'm in.
You know, the bomb looks like the one that kills everybody. If anybody doesn't know,
I love seeing that too. Like you see them just get destroyed in the interview. Like they're chatting and all of a sudden they just like can't even. They're just like in their own world.
You know the weird noises that happen and the weird effects. So there's a guy. He's a junior purchaser of my company. He worked for this company, Able Cine, and apparently someone there he was friends with. I think this is the story, but his he actually worked on that show and was the one that around second season that started doing that stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
So I know the guy that knows the guy that did the effects. You know,
all right.
I like it. I love that show.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, it's a cool show.
There's a show, guys, for the people listening on First We Feast. A lot of cool stuff too. There's an Asian guy that does a lot of Asian foods, and there's this guy that goes around and he goes and gets like street food, street tacos with people. First We Feast, a big food channel, but there's a guy, Sean Evans, that hosts Hot Ones, and now they have a game show, and it's the show with hot wings and even hotter questions. Is that how it goes? Hot questions, even hotter wings.
It's one of those,
right?
Yeah,
I don't know. I
think it's even hotter questions, isn't it?
Isn't it?
I don't know. I think you were right the first time.
Guys, my name's Sean Evans, and I'm here with First We Feast, and we're doing Hot Ones. Yeah, I love that show, dude.
Yeah,
and I'm bald.
Funny.
We're bald. That's like all.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's
so
a
you'll
bald
see the
thing.
sweat.
Anyway, I do try to emulate him a little bit sometimes with my hands. You see me doing this a little bit.
That's the one. Yeah,
I love that. I don't know why. It works. It's a powerful move.
It's like a combo of that and the Joe Rogan thing.
Yeah, I'm like a skinny Joe Rogan. I know. Yeah. Well, actually, this is the same headset he wears. Thank you.
I was thinking that it was very similar, actually. I thought about that before. I didn't know it was the same one.
I didn't go with the SMBs. I went with the Rode podcast. But basically, my setup over there, I basically have the same thing he has. What was I going to do? There's other stuff I want to get. There's chairs he has that are $700 a piece. They're like economical chairs, whatever. They're supposed to be really good for you. Eventually, I'll get that.
Yeah.
Well, I want my people to be comfortable. And let's be honest,
when the world opens up, we'll come. We'll do this in the studio with you,
dude. I would love for you guys to come over and jam a little bit.
Yeah, we would do that.
I'm actually trying to get Charlie back on the show at some point and just have him play, because one of the things about our first episode is it turned into like people asking for requests.
Oh, really?
And putting him on the spot, and he killed it. So
that's awesome.
I'm trying to get him over just to do a show by himself, just playing.
Yeah, you should. That guy's awesome. That guy's
Charlie, he's such a big heart, man. He's such a good guy. Well, dude, listen, I've learned a lot. I'm so satisfied with this, dude. I'm so grateful to have you on the show, man. I appreciate it. That camera. Tell the people what you got going on.
Yeah, man. No, this is great. This was a lot of fun, and I think we should, like I said, when things open up, we should have me and Tyler maybe come in to the actual studio and we'll jam for you and whatever.
I would love that, man. That'd be really cool. Please let the people know anything you got going on, anything you would like to say, any shout outs.
Yeah, we got to do the old plug. So seriously, guys, follow us on, I think I gave Fox all the links. He's going to probably put them on the site or whatever.
They're in the description, actually.
They're in the description. Yeah. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, cuethepilot. And we got a lot of cool stuff coming out. Hopefully very soon. And follow Greta and Liesl J and Carlos on Instagram as well. But yeah, we're gonna have some great music for you guys coming out soon.
And we are so excited. And of course, Voodoo Water TV will be on the lookout, and we'll be giving people updates too. Wow, man, it's been really fun.
Yeah, man.
I really appreciate it.
Definitely.
What song was it? Reflections, right?
Oh, that you wanted to outro on? Yeah.
We're going to outro on Reflections, but I got to tell you, I'm going to talk to the people myself, so you can stay on the line. We can talk after or hang up, because it's probably going to be like 20 minutes with that 7-minute song on it.
Okay.
I don't know what you want to do, but dude, I really appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
Cool.
I'll talk to you.
All right, man. Thanks a lot. Peace.
Later.